Let's also take a look at Rajouri Garden in particular, where the voter turnout stands at 58.96%. In Greater Kailash, the number dips a little bit to 52%. Meanwhile, let's also take a look at the number recorded in Shakur Basti. 59.21% of the people have inked their finger till 5 o'clock. In Okhla, 52.77% people have cast their mandate. And last but not least, in Balli Maran, 59.56% of the people have cast their vote. Back to you, Megha.
All right, thanks Pia for giving us all those numbers. Let's begin with our expertometer. Expertometer is to gauge the pulse of the people, but particularly the 5 guests who join me very shortly, and we ask them to stick their neck out and give their best estimate of how the numbers will tally up. This is right before the poll of polls that will be conducted, and you will be privy to all the numbers in just about an hour's time. But let's start with NewsX Expertometer. Joining me on the telecast, first up is Sumit Peer. Sumit, thank you very much. And let's take a look at the numbers. So what is your estimate of the numbers that each of the 3 parties will be able to garner, and who do you think will win the election?
Megha ji, thank you as always having me on your show. Pleasure always to be with you. Well, looking at that today, it's going to be a very sensational election. My numbers are, I am pessimistic with my numbers. I am giving 37 to BJP. I am given 2 to Congress and giving 31 to AAP. That is my number. That is how, to me, the number breakdown looks like. BJP is going to make it because I've been seeing the mood. I have been analyzing the trends. I don't feel like that there is a lahar or a wave for Kejriwal. The kind of a wave which I've seen in the previous elections, well, that wave is completely missing, and his image has taken a major dent. And if you look at the voter turnout, 57.7%, it's not a major change in the voter turnout as well. So let's not expect a altogether different result. That is where I would put my numbers on.
Okay, all right, and let's take a look at specific VIP constituencies and the star candidates who are fighting the election. It is the New Delhi constituency. Let's start with that. Obviously, the Aam Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal is fighting the election. He has won it successively in the previous elections as well, in 2015, in 2020, and now talking about 2025. What do you think? Do you think there is going to be a tough fight that will be given by the BJP's Parvesh Verma and of course Congress, Sheila Dikshit's son Sandeep Dikshit fighting the election this time?
There's definitely going to be a very, very tight fight because Sandeep Dikshit is a heavyweight, Pravesh Verma is a heavyweight, Kejriwal is a heavyweight. We have to see where do the trends go. But I think looking at, because it's a triangular fight now, it's not a two-way fight, I am seeing advantage to Pravesh Verma. If he can pull his cards a little bit, I think Kejriwal, the kind of fiascos he has been trying to create for a lot of few days is in big trouble. Unfortunately, Mr. Dikshit may not be able to make it, but he is going to give a run for money to Kejriwal. And if he gives a run of money to Kejriwal, it's advantage Mr. Verma. That is how the equation looks to me.
Okay, I'm also going to pick one very interesting constituency, which is the Okhla Assembly constituency. This time around, of course, Amanatullah Khan, the veteran of the Aam Aadmi Party who has been winning Okhla constituency for the last 3 terms consecutively. But this time around, there is the AIMIM who has decided to field a candidate from the Okhla constituency. How is this going to tally up? And will it be to the benefit of Aam Aadmi Party? Will there be reduction of votes for Aam Aadmi Party and Amanatullah Khan this time?
I think this will be completely advantageous to the Congress Muslim candidate. And don't be surprised, Meghaji, if Okhla and Selampur goes Congress's way. The 2 seats which I'm giving them is for considering Okhla and Selampur only. I'm not betting my neck on any else seat because there is a chance, because there's a lot of anti-incumbency against Amanatullah Khan. Congress putting a Muslim candidate, and then you have this AIMIM fielding its own candidate. So these 2 seats might go to Congress, and I've seen Rahul Gandhi campaign in these 2 seats. So why did out of the whole Delhi he pick these 2 seats? And if you look at the selection of candidates, if you look at the mathematics around it, it looks like Congress might be able to open their account with 2 seats in these 2 seats, Okhla and Selampur.
Okay, all right, but let's talk about, you talk about Greater Kailash, you're talking about Jangpura, the only people that, the only candidates that people are well aware of, heard their names, like Greater Kailash, it's Saurabh Bharadwaj, Jangpura, it's Manish Sisodia. when you talk about BJP and the Congress, nobody even knows who these individuals are.
I think it's not a question of when it comes to BJP, individuals do matter, but individuals don't determine everything. BJP works on Modi ki guarantee. BJP works on the organization. BJP works on the cadre. Whereas Aam Aadmi has to typically stick to the personality. While in Congress also, it's a 70-30, 70% personality, 30% party. So if you look at that way, the candidates are fielded by, like for example, if you look at Pravesh Verma, everybody knows Pravesh Verma. For example, if you look at Ashish Sood from Janakpuri, people know Ashish Sood in that area. If you look at Sirsaji, people know Sirsaji in that part of Delhi. He might not be known in Jamna Park, but in his part of Delhi, West Delhi, Sirsaji is well known. So if you look at the BJP's selection of candidates, Meghaji, either it's a heavyweight, like Dushyant Gautam, who is, as a general secretary, is fighting the MLA ka chunav, or then you have a completely different face, which doesn't carry a lot of the baggage of the past. Then you have the Modi ki guarantee, which is basically where the magic wand is. And if these three can things work well, and luckily Congress is fighting an election this time for a change. Last two elections, Congress has been giving it a miss. Congress fighting an election, and is an advantage to BJP. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, and when finally let's also talk about Kalkaji. Distinguished big names over here. Alka Lamba from the Congress, Atishi is from Aam Aadmi Party. She is the interim chief minister of Delhi right now. Ramesh Biduri of the BJP. Do you think the BJP and the Congress have tried to give a tough fight to Atishi from this constituency?
Definitely, Ramesh Biduri is a heavyweight, but if you ask me my assessment, I will still say it's advantage to Archie, because the constituency, if you understand the dynamics of it, that is very well placed for Archie. But Alka Lamba and Biduri are going to give a tough fight to Archie. If there can be any surprise, it won't be Alka Lamba, it will be Ramesh Biduri. So if there's either it is, in my assessment, I would say 70% it goes to Archie, 30% is Biduri. Alka ji to uske baad number aata hai. She's not, even that 30%, but she's going to give a tough fight, like Kejriwal will get a tough fight from Sandeep Dixit.
Okay, now, I want to make a general analysis of your prediction. You've said that BJP will get 37, Aam Aadmi Party will reduce to 31, so which is almost half the number of seats that it won, because it won 62 last time around, and 31 is just half the seats. Just half the seats that as per your prediction it will be able to get. Congress at 2. So what is this game changer that BJP will bring around according to you? Because the last time around it had only been able to win 5 seats, which was in fact a number increase, because last time around it had only won 3.
You see, Meghaji, there are just 5 simple factors. First factor is the image of AAP and Kejriwal and all is dented. It is not there what it used to be. There's anti-incumbency. Congress is fighting a good election, which I compliment them for, which is an advantage to BJP. Fourth factor which is going to matter is, look, BJP needs 6% vote share to win the election. 3% had already happened, and 6% it happens, it will win. If it is able to make it to 10%, it will sweep. Now, the question is the Muslim vote. There is around 10-12% Muslim vote, and there is 5% Sikh vote. Does it split? If Muslim and Sikh vote splits, how much does it split, or which way does it split? That is where the balance 3-4-6% is going to come from. Because even if it splits, even if you maintain your same vote percentage, other vote share splits. Look, last time Muslims en masse voted Kejriwal, and 80% of the Sikh brothers voted Kejriwal. But when I talk to my friends in the Sikh community, they are not going to do that same, and even Muslim community is divided. So let's see if Congress is able to pull that 3-4-5% of the Muslim vote out of 10% of Aam Aadmi Party. So it's like, I don't have to increase my line, but if the other 2 lines become smaller, it's an advantage to me. So this is where the equation is going to be. I'm for sure 3% vote swing has happened. I will be watching out. Is it 6? I bet it should be around 6. Can it go to even 10? If it's 10, it will be a complete role reversal. My numbers will look very less for BJP then if the 10% vote swing happens or the vote division happens. We have to wait and watch another 1 hour. We'll come to know how does it look.
All right. Thanks, Sumit, for joining us and being part of the NewsX Expertometer. Next up, let's invite Ajay Kumar Jha, who's a political analyst. Thank you, Ajay, for joining us, and let's put out those numbers that you have predicted. You said BJP is going to get round about 38 to 40 seats, Aam Aadmi Party 30 to 31 seats, and the Indian National Congress maybe 1 seat at the maximum. So if you could help us analyze what is the reason that you've given this seat distribution to these 3 parties?
Actually, this is my revised estimate, ma'am. Previous day I had given AAP 36 to 38, BJP 32 to 34, and Congress Party 1 to 2. But today I have revised it, and now it has turned in a different way. BJP, I find, is now going to form government if everything goes as per my analysis. I understand there are various factors which we should take into account. It is understood that the voting percentage counts most, but the turnout of voters, which section of the voter is turning out, that is very important. Actually, what is happening these days, even in the developed countries, we have seen that the educated class people, they are not coming out to vote as much as the underprivileged, or I won't say that uneducated, but those people who are still on the lower rung of societal development, they prefer to come for voting more in comparison to the middle class and the affluent class people. That is one thing. So, which class of the people are turning out to vote for whatever party they wish to? So, in my understanding, even this time, in spite of the fact that BJP just a few days ago, when budget came out, and there was a big impression that BJP is going to get because of the middle class people who have been given so much support, or so much new privileges, or in terms of income tax or whatever. So it is going to go in favor of BJP. Yes, it must go, but depending upon how many of them come out, because in the middle class, who are the people? Middle class, most of them are either service goers, office goers, corporate people, and such people who are entrepreneurs in their own way, in their own right.
Okay.
They are the people.
Okay, all right.
So,
It's interesting because, I'm going to also speak to the other political analysts and commentators who will be joining me very shortly after you. And all of you have accorded an increase of about 28 to 30 seats to the BJP. A few here and there notwithstanding, but I am interested in knowing that what do you think has been done by the BJP that is, according to you, making the mind of the BJP, of the Delhiite, of the voter, to then decide to go and vote for the BJP, if these numbers is what we go by. Ajay Jha, the question is for you.
oh, sorry, I didn't call. Yeah, what did you ask, ma'am?
Why? What is it? What is it that is drawing, according to you, the people of Delhi, the voters of Delhi, to vote for BJP this time around, as per the division of votes, as per the division of seats that you have brought down?
There are clearer factors. First of all, the middle class is very important. Delhi itself is largely a middle class and lower class people city, where the number of middle class we know has been increasing over the years, and at the same time the number of other sections of people down the line, their number is also increasing. Now this time, the most important factor, which I think would be in the context of, if we go by the lower class people, those who are not so much privileged, they would be divided. They would not be in the same like the previous elections, where it went almost en masse, en bloc. They voted for Kejriwal, and Kejriwal in fact gave them full support also, because he provided all sorts of the basic requirements, at least in case of electricity, water, and all. Water not in terms of the fresh water or clean water, but in terms of at least they are getting it. But electricity was one, and free ride to women on buses, and then again pilgrimage, free pilgrimage to the elderly people, and all those things. Those things actually it went well with them, and That was en bloc. This time, I don't think it is going to be go en bloc of in this section. It will be divided. It will be divided depending upon
Okay.
two
I also
factors.
want to understand from you today. More or less the elections, the voting that happened was calm, composed. There were no unprecedented developments that took place. The police and the paramilitary were in total control of the situation on the ground. But still, there were certain isolated incidents where allegations were made by the BJP that there was fake voting that was taking place in Selampur. Then Saurabh Bharadwaj came out and accused the Delhi police that the police were blocking the voters from going to the polling stations and voting. There was allegations of money being distributed. This was an allegation made by the BJP against the Aam Aadmi Party. So do you think this was just a tactic by the politicians to target each other on the day of election? Or do you think there may have been these isolated incidents where politicians may have tried to leverage their position by way of money or fake voting and so on and so forth? Yes, Mr. Ajay.
Yes, actually, but such cases cannot be said that it has been seen everywhere. But isolated cases might have been seen, and it has been seen, no doubt about it. But the most important part is how much it goes down the psyche of the people. If it really is giving some kind of understanding among such people, no, some mischief is being created by BJP or by Congress, then it can work. But I don't think it. Now, people have understood over a period of time, last 10 years, that what Gmix up has been playing all along and what good they have been doing for them. Both things have been going together. So even the lesser privileged people, they have the wisdom to understand what actually the matter is. The only thing which guides them or which leads them to the voting booth is what benefit they are getting, number one, and what aspirations do they have for future. So far as the future aspirations
also, my reporters were on the ground for the entirety of the day across the length and breadth of Delhi. They were in New Delhi, they were in Patpatganj, Okhla, all these constituencies, and they were speaking to people. And I heard a number of voters who came out to vote. They were from, particularly the middle class. Some of them said that they had problems of water that was not clean in their homes. They talked about broken roads, they talked about waterlogging, they talked about cleanliness of their community and the RWAs. Those were issues that they raised. And then there were certain communities and certain voters who came out and said that they are happy that they have been getting subsidies and schemes, and education is something that they are very happy about, and the medical assistance and health facilities that are being provided to them, they are satisfied with it. So again, do you think this is a mixed bag? Do you think one political party may have been catering to one section of the society versus the other?
Certainly, that is what I was referring to. The society, the different sections of society, they are divided in their opinion this time, very much divided. Even the underprivileged people, they are divided for the simple reason that, okay, they are getting those things. But this is the time when Prime Minister himself has come out with the assurance that whatever benefit they are getting, they would be getting even in their term, even in BJP's term, if it comes to power.
Right.
So the faith in Prime Minister is so much that many people can be driven by his assurances, number one. So at least that part is very clear to them that this we are going to get in any case. But at the same time, they would also be getting another other benefits also, because Prime Minister has promised that they would be getting fresh water, Jamuna clean, and all those things which have not been done as yet. But what they had been getting or they have been getting, it would continue to be provided to them. So that much, and the kind of
all right, fair enough. You've put out your points of view, and we'll obviously be able to find out what happens on 7th of February when the results are announced by the Election Commission. Joining me also on the telecast right now is Ashutosh Sharma, thank you very much for joining us on NewsX Expertometer, and let's quickly break down the figures that you at this point in time have estimated are going to be sealing the fate of the BJP, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yeah, as per my survey, as per my estimate, I had given that BJP is going to get 28 to 32 seats, and our party is going to get anything 32, 36, 38 seats. And Congress, they might open an account with 1 or 2 seats. That was my earlier estimate, but I'll like to revise it now. The things have changed by the time the election voting has closed. The percent, I would say now the BJP has a slight edge over our party. So I'm going to give BJP anything between 36 to 42 seats, and Congress might open an account with 1 or 2 seats, and rest of the seats are going to our party. This time, the people have realized, those who have voted AAP earlier for last 2 terms, that our party has failed to provide the basic needs to the resident of Delhi, what they promised. Many of the things they were talked on paper, they were talked in television, and in fact, those things are not being provided. Delhi is facing with the acute problem of water problem. Residents of Delhi are not getting the fresh, pure water. That's very dirty and polluted. Air of Delhi is very polluted, and sometimes the peak of air pollution was so bad that even it was difficult. It made life of Delhi like hell. It looked as if the Delhi people are living in the chamber of gas. So roads are in very pathetic condition. The sanitary services are not up to the mark what had been promised. The schools, as it was promised by our party, they're going to open 500 schools and 20 other technical colleges, that extra. Everything remained on paper. Nothing is being delivered to the people of Delhi. The teachers, those who are in schools, they have not yet got their salaries. And many other promises of theirs remain to be fulfilled. So now people have lesser faith. I am talking to the local people. I am traveling by.
Okay, but do you think the society is segmented? The people who vote for Arvind Kejriwal or have been voting for Aam Aadmi Party for the past so many years, and there are different sets of concerns. Do you think certain sections may not bother about whether the Yamuna is clean, whether the air pollution in Delhi is killing people, is causing so many medical issues, health problems amongst people, till the time they are getting the freebies, till the time the welfare projects are putting money into their accounts, till the time they are getting free health benefits, free education?
See, how long can you sustain on freebies? How long can you continue to give freebies? I mean, there are section of society which like to have freebies. Now, what our party has been offered, BJP is also countered the same, or rather, they bettered our party. Our party was giving 2,100 rupees to the ladies, and BJP has offered 2,500 rupees. So when it comes to the offers, I think both the parties, they are trying to offer better than the other one. But now the faith, the resident of Delhi, that is swing in favor of BJP. I am talking to the normal people. I am talking to the dwellers, those who are living in the chugis. I am talking to the common people, auto rickshaw driver, taxi drivers, and they said they're not satisfied with the AAP. What they had promised, the aim and objective what they had shown 10 years back, they have remained to still unfulfilled. So they want to see the change, and they want a better life in Delhi. Even the people living in the slums and jhuggies, they're living in clusters, those who had voted in big terms to bring our party to the cabinet, to form the cabinet. They voted not only once, they voted twice, they voted 3 times.
Okay.
But all the policies which are being made by our party, they remain unfulfilled. Okay. Except free buses, water and electricity. Many more things are yet to be done, and now people have realized the magic of Modi. BJP is a more united party, and whatever the Prime Minister says, he fulfills. So people's faith, people's interest, that it is swing to BJP. So I think the BJP is going to form the government in Delhi.
Okay.
And
So
the
okay,
result
okay.
will
So
be
let's
out.
also talk about the VIP constituencies. You know, all the big faces. Let's talk about Arvind Kejriwal and Parvesh Verma and Sandeep Dixit
Yeah, well,
in New Delhi.
Arvind
Do you
Kejriwal
think there is a chance? There is a chance that the BJP's candidate or Congress's candidate could upset Arvind Kejriwal's chances of winning from the seat?
Yeah, well, I was coming to that. It is difficult for Kejriwal to defend his seat. I mean, he's going to get a big fight. Number one from Sandeep Dixit because he's coming after a long time. Earlier, Congress didn't have its existence. For 10 years, there was no name of Congress in Delhi. Now, the Sandeep Dixit, the whatever vote he's going to get, that is going to benefit BJP, and it might be difficult for Kejriwal to save his seat from New Delhi.
Okay, and let's also you know, analyze and figure out what is the fabric of the Okhla assembly constituency, because the first time around it is AIMIM who's also fielding a candidate. Who is it going to benefit?
Yeah, AIMIM doesn't have much weight in Delhi. They're outside Delhi, they are very strong, but in Delhi they have yet to make an impact. But certainly they are going to be change in these two seats. One of these Congress candidates might get this seat, grab this seat, Amanatullah Khan. Instead of Amanatullah Khan, they are going to get a replacement of that.
Okay, and what about Greater Kailash and Jangpura, Silampur, and also when we talk about you know, all these big candidates, big names, they are celebrated names, people know them. Manish Sisodia and Saurabh Bharadwaj, and when we compare these individuals, these candidates to the BJP candidates and the Congress candidates, nobody has heard about them.
Let me talk one by one. Let's come to the Jangpura seat. Manish Sisodia failed to deliver the goods to the local residents in Patparganj. He was winning the seat for last two successive elections, and the scenario of the roads is very pathetic, and the hygiene conditions are very bad. So he knew that he's not going to win the seat from this constituency, so he changed the area. He's shifted to Jangpura, and Jangpura is going to get a big, tough time to defend his seat. I don't think it will be easy for Manish Sisodia to defend his seat.
Okay.
So
okay, and what about Greater Kailash, Saurabh Bharadwaj? Today, Saurabh Bharadwaj, you know, created a row. He was accusing the Delhi police of actually blocking the way of the voters, stopping them from casting their vote.
Well, he's been in the habit of making such remarks. I mean, there's nothing new with what he's saying. He's been talking like that for last so many. I've seen his debates, I've seen his comments. So he used to making these kind of remarks. But the people of the Greater Kailash area, they know it, what they're going to get if they elect Saurabh Bharadwaj again. And if the BJP is in the center, what can Saurabh Bharadwaj provide to them? So people are sensible and they will give cast their vote very sensibly, and they might see some change in this time.
And what about Kalkaji, which is a Atishi's bastion? We have Alka Lamba from the Congress. The BJP is fielding Ramesh Biduri.
Yeah, that's right. Remark of Ramesh Biduri few days back, what he made a sarcastic remark against Atishi, that's not good. Certainly Atishi is going to have an edge over Ramesh Biduri. Though Ramesh Biduri is a heavyweight, he was a member of parliament earlier, and he has a good hold in the area, but Atishi's work people have seen, and here the Atishi has an edge over the BJP candidate.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Mr. Ajay Kumar Jha, for joining us and sharing your perspective, your projections as to who wins the election in the national capital. Joining me also right now on the telecast is Advocate Manasvi Thapar. Thank you very much, Manasvi Thapar, for joining us on Expertometer. And first up, what are your projections? Who's going to win the election?
I feel that BJP is having an edge over Aam Aadmi Party, but though it's going to be a close fight. But why do I say that is because BJP has been consistent in its vote bank. So what is happening right now is the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party is predominantly a vote share which is anti-BJP, which was consolidated by the departure of Congress from Delhi. So what happened in 2013, 15, 20 was that Congress did not have that momentum. Congress was reduced in the last election to less than 5% of vote share. And Aam Aadmi Party had generated around 50% of vote share in 2020, and on the other side, BJP had a positive of 35% of vote share, which was stable. So now coming 2025, what happens here is Congress is fighting this election with this whatever strength they have, but in the full strength mode they are fighting this election. So the vote share of Aam Aadmi Party and Congress is a common vote share. So what is going to happen in this vote share? The division is going to happen in this vote share for the first time after 2015, I would say. For the first time that the real division of the vote share would happen. The Congress vote share, which was taken up by Aam Aadmi Party, is going to go back to the Congress shelter. And Aam Aadmi Party will have a Congress vote share and the newly acquired Aam Aadmi Party vote share, whichever would be there. But BJP's vote share is a stable vote share, which was around 35% plus 38% in the last election. So BJP has that edge because of the consolidated, stable, unified vote share which they have. And that is what is the result in the Lok Sabhas. What we have seen is in the last three Lok Sabhas, BJP is getting 7 out of 7 in these elections. So that's an edge over BJP. Lok Sabha consolidation is there. The Vidhan Sabha, be it in 2013, then in 15, then in 2020, the BJP vote share has increased, though minimally, but has increased. Now with the division of vote share and things which Aam Aadmi Party has to face this time is corruption charges, the Sheesh Mahal charges. What happens in Indian politics is perception plays a very important role. In Indian politics, what we have seen is people forgive corruption, but people cannot forgive arrogance. And this for the Aam Aadmi Party is the toughest election in their lifetime. Is why? Because for the first time, a common Admi was given the center stage, was an idea. Aam Aadmi Party was an idea. And it turned out to be a political gamut in 2020 onwards. So what happened is people would not like the idea of perception of Aam Aadmi living in a Sheesh Mahal. So this is going to change the perception of Arvind Kejriwal. And this is the biggest battle he's fighting in his electoral political career. So that's very important for the survival mode of Aam Aadmi Party because it is just there in Delhi. If they are in Delhi, they can stand nationally. If they're not in Delhi, it's a survival thing for Aam Aadmi Party. So this is a testing time, and I feel with BJP having that edge, I think BJP will, if they are close to 30, they are going to form the Sarkar either ways. There's no doubt about that. If they're touching 30 marks, they're going to fall.
What will change the fate of the BJP? Do you think it is primarily because of anti-incumbency that BJP will bear the fruits of that because Aam Aadmi Party is apparently not performing well enough?
Not because of that. BJP works on two ways. One is they work on the positive aspects of BJP, which is projecting Prime Minister Narendra Modi with larger than life persona, with unified BJP. That's the perception which BJP brings in, and that's the white marketing of BJP which goes hand in hand. There's a black marketing also of BJP, which they make sure that there is against Aam Aadmi Party narrative being carried out. The narrative of Aam Aadmi Party being carried out by BJP is the Sheesh Mahal, Kathni aur Karni mein farak of Aam Aadmi Party, bringing out the old speeches of Arvind Kejriwal, bringing out that all the promises made by Arvind Kejriwal have failed. So that kind of momentum in the eyes of people, and Aam Aadmi Party journey has been only 11 years. So people could relate that what this particular person, Arvind Kejriwal, had said in 2013, then 15, then 20, and how much has it delivered? So BJP has worked more on that. That anti-incumbency factor was not there in 2020, or even we could say in 2025. But BJP has created that vacuum that you have to ask this tough questions to Arvind Kejriwal. You have to ask this questions to Manish Sisodia. You have to ask Aam Aadmi Party how much have they delivered. So it is not the people which are asking much. It is BJP which has created through social media, through its karyakartas, that these questions are now the mainstream questions of Delhiites. So this is what is going to be a challenger for the narrative which has been set by BJP against Aam Aadmi Party for Aam Aadmi Party. That's the basic challenger. And other cutting leg for Aam Aadmi Party is the Congress standing out. Congress is going to damage, and Congress vote share is in the last election was 4.3%. So Congress, if just double ups their vote share, is going to create a huge damage for Aam Aadmi Party. If they just get into the double digits of it, if they get 10-11% of vote share, it's going to give a huge damage to Aam Aadmi Party. So why did this happen also?
Okay, and while we're talking about your projection, I would like to tell you, Manaswi, that You know, the first poll by the Matriz agency is now out, and what it says is, what it projects is BJP at 40, Aam Aadmi Party at 29, Indian National Congress at 1. So that's the division of seats that has been done by Matriz. We'll take a look at the other poll surveys that are going to be released through the next 1 hour, and we'll collate it and we'll put that figure on our screens in just a short time. Manas, we also want to understand from you, what are these, you know, these VIP constituencies with VIP candidates, star candidates. Arvind Kejriwal, a big wig, hasn't lost an election in Delhi up until now. He is being pitted against Parvesh Verma and Sandeep Dixit. What are the chances that there can be the Congress or the BJP who could take away seats and votes from him?
I feel this is the toughest election for Arvind Kejriwal, no doubt about it. In 2013, when he fought an election, the narrative which he had created that fighting against Sheila Dikshit, he was a giant killer, he was the crusader against corruption. And that kind of narrative he could build up. And then in 2015 also, he carried that wave that I will leave the Sarkar, I'm not here for Sarkar. And people trusted him, people voted for him. And 2020, when he said that you vote only if I work. So he was a giant player in politics. He was undisputedly the champion of Delhi elections, and he understood the pulse of Delhi voters, and people voted in favor of him. He was a great political study till 2020. So what happened after 2020 to 2025 is also a new study, that what you say, if you don't deliver in right now in today's time, and the perception has to be matched up. What you say, and you have to be in that perception. You may fly first class, but your perception has to be that you are economy person. If you want to project that kind of life in public life. But what happened? There was a complete 360-degree turn of Arvind Kejriwal, and that perception factor is going to go against him.
Okay.
So now,
the perception factor, also the targeted jibes of Prime Minister Narendra Modi just in the Parliament yesterday about the Sheesh Mahal jibe. He was talking about luxury shahs that were being installed at Arvind Kejriwal's residence, and that's the one of the key points that had been the issue that had been raked up again and again and again, not just by the BJP but the Congress as well. I'm going to again put out the numbers. Manasvi, we've gotten Matriz, we've gotten JVC and P Mark. They all have released the numbers. According to Matriz, BJP is projected to get anywhere between 35 and 40 seats. Indian National Congress between 0 and 1. Aam Aadmi Party between 32 and 37. JVC again gives a majority to BJP at between 39 and 45. Congress between 0 and 2, and Aam Aadmi Party between 27 and 34. P Mark has once again given a majority to the BJP with between 39 and 49. Congress between 0 and 1, and Aam Aadmi Party between 21 and 31. So this is very interesting, Manasvi, the fact that BJP, that had only been able to garner about 7 seats in the previous election 2020, is suddenly the front runner, suddenly the political party that is getting the maximum number of votes. Now it may not get the votes that were gained by the Aam Aadmi Party, which was almost all of them. You know, 62 last time around, and in 2015 it was 67. So that may not be the case, that BJP sweeps the election if these projections are correct, but it has been able to achieve a little more than the halfway mark as per these numbers.
So there is no doubt about it. Why? Because since 2013, though BJP has been on 2013, they were the largest in numbers. So since 2013, they may not have formed the Sarkar, but their vote share has been consistent, has been very strong, and the cadre base, even they are losing elections since 3 decades, is there. So there is a momentum of cadre. While on the other side, Congress's cadre after 2013 has been decimating every year. So they don't have a cadre. The fight is with the Congress and BJP. If you look vis-a-vis, the fight of the cadre, the Karyakarta, is much stronger for the BJP, while Congress does not have a cadre in Delhi. While in the heart of Delhi, while we say that Sheila Dikshit ji has been the best chief minister of any state during her time, she was the best among all equals. So that's the kind of thing which she had done for Delhi. But that perception of Sheila Dikshit ji, Congress could not bring out on table. And while BJP thrives and drives on Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's narrative, they also have a very strong cadre, which has been there since 2013. and consequently the vote consolidation have also continued, though they have been limited to less than 10 seats every year. But the vote share continues, the cadre continues. That's the biggest advantage for BJP. And now, when Aam Aadmi Party was on the wrong footing since 2022, BJP could suddenly garner the votes and now convert that vote share into seats. That's going to be the biggest advantage for BJP. That 5-7 seats, which would be the turning point for BJP, would be that the cadre and the strength of that continuous building of that vote share. That's going to be the changing point for BJP.
Okay, so there are more numbers. We spoke about Matrice, JV, C and P mark. Now we are also getting to know there are 3 more agencies that have released the numbers. That's People's Insight. People's Insight has once again given the maximum number of seats to BJP between 40 and 44. Indian National Congress remains between 0 and 1. Again, dismal performance projection by People's Insight. And Aam Aadmi Party's seat share has reduced, and it has projected that Aam Aadmi Party may win between 35 and 29 seats. People's Pulse has given the highest number of seats to BJP. It says that BJP might just win seats between 51 and 60. Congress will not open an account as per the projection of People's Pulse, while Aam Aadmi Party will be reduced to seats between 10 and 19. Now, Chanakya, meanwhile, has also released the numbers, and we'll put them out shortly on your screens. And this is interesting, Manaswi. One of the polls has actually stuck its neck out and said BJP is going to win up to 60 seats. What is the possibility of it?
I feel that is too ambitious as a poll analyst. I think that's going to be too ambitious for that to come true. If that comes true, I think whatever happened in 2024, people have to forget that. The momentum of Prime Minister Modi is the highest anyone could have in an Indian political career. So that kind of momentum he would have built up now, if that is the possibility. But I feel that is not the possibility. I feel BJP is going to give a kante ki takkar to Aam Aadmi Party, and they're going to win, but not more than 45 seats. That's what I think as of now. But I don't know. The latest numbers of EC is yet to come out. But that's not a possibility from my point of view, that they could cross more than 45. But definitely, with my understanding of the situation and the ground report which I am getting, it is the BJP which has an edge. They are easily crossing the 35 mark. That's for sure.
Okay. I also want to now understand, these star candidates. Arvind Kejriwal, we're talking about Atishi, Saurabh Bharadwaj, Manish Sisodia. Do you see there is even a little bit of chance that Arvind Kejriwal loses his New Delhi seat?
I don't think that he'll lose, but he'll win through a very thin margin. He's a star campaigner. He's been the chief minister candidate of Delhi, and he has a vote bank. He has a vote share. People trust him. But I don't feel that he's going to lose that seat for sure. But I feel it's going to be a neck-to-neck fight. But Arvind Kejriwal has an edge over it for various reasons. For various reasons of what he has done for Delhi, what perception he has created, coming from an ordinary background with no background to become the chief minister of Delhi, creating that perception, having his own ideologies and theories, but he still worked out. So he has given an entire new chapter for Indian politics, be it what we call Rebdi freebies, which BJP has incorporated in all the schemes since 2019. So his agenda of politics has worked out for India, and there is no denial for that, giving free electricity, giving free buses to women, and giving free education, getting education infrastructure. So there is a Arvind Kejriwal factor in Indian politics. So that we cannot throw it suddenly. So he's going to win for sure, but the margin is going to be considerably reduced from 2020.
Okay, let's also bring in Sunny Dhiman into the conversation. Sunny, before I start this conversation with you and get your analysis, I'm going to once again put out these numbers. Let's start from the start. Actually, let's take a look at Chanakya's numbers first. Chanakya has released the numbers, and Chanakya pits BJP between 39 and 44 seats. Indian National Congress is likely to win between 2 and 3 seats if Chanakya's projections turn right. And Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 25 and 28 seats. People's Pulse puts the number of the BJP between 51 and 60. That's the highest that any agency has up until now given to any political party in the current scheme of things, particularly for the BJP and Indian National Congress at a 0, Aam Aadmi Party between 10 and 19, People's Insight again gives BJP between 40 and 44, Indian National Congress between 0 and 1, and Aam Aadmi Party between 25 and 29. PMark gives BJP between 39 and 49, Indian National Congress between 0 and 1, Aam Aadmi Party 21 and 20, between 21 and 31 seats. Now JVC gives BJP 39 between 39 and 45 seats, Indian National Congress between 0 and 2 seats, and Aam Aadmi Party between 29 and 34 seats. And Matrice finally giving BJP the maximum number of seats once again between 35 and 40, Indian National Congress between 0 and 1, and Aam Aadmi Party between 32 and 37. So there seems to be a neck and neck fight as per I think almost more than half the projections that are giving a neck and neck fight between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, but are favoring BJP more than the Aam Aadmi Party. So Sunny, now let's understand from you, what's your analysis of these numbers and what do you think, how do you project Delhi has voted?
Yeah, good evening, Ms. Sharma. So according to my projection, I have been on ground. I have conducted a survey last year as per my agency and also my statistical analysis. According to me, there are at least 25 seats where BJP will win with more than 10% vote share margin. And apart from that, so these are the seats where BJP is clearly winning. So BJP will open its account roughly around 25 seats, and there will be fight between Congress, AAP, and obviously BJP on other seats. So there is a clear indication that the numbers will speak louder than words here, which will come tomorrow, not tomorrow, but day after tomorrow on the 7th. But the real issue which you asked, that the voting behavior. So there is a disillusionment among Delhi people. What India Against Corruption has given India and Delhi itself. The person who was the mascot of anti-corruption movement in India, which was part of the Vivekanand Foundation's projection, because they want to remove Sheila Dikshit from Delhi, and she was one of the best chief minister of India.
I'm sorry, Sunny, I will have to interrupt you. I'll have to take this short break. Come right back. Stay on with me, Sunny. I'll get you into the conversation. But those are the numbers flashing at the bottom of your screens. Interesting analysis. BJP and Aam Aadmi Party seem to be in a neck and neck fight. In fact, a number of almost all these agencies are favoring BJP and have slashed down the number of seats that Aam Aadmi Party had previously won to almost half. Will these projections actually be the reality of how Delhi has voted? We'll get to know only on 7th of February. Stay tuned on NewsX.
Karnataka has established itself as the leading hub for electronic system design and manufacturing in India, contributing 10% to the nation's electronics output. We are also home to 400 plus MNCs with global R&D centers. With over 100 fabulous chip design houses and 40% national share in electronic design, Karnataka stands as a prominent hub for chip innovation in India. Invest Karnataka 2025 will bring more global players to benefit from the state's strong and tech-enabled ecosystem.
अगर आप बनना चाहते हैं एंकर या फिर आप में है जुनून एक तेज तर्रार न्यूज रिपोर्टर बनने का, तो आप ज्वाइन करें ITV इंडिया न्यूज और NewsX का मीडिया स्कूल। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का कोर्स आपको मौका देता है देश के दिग्गज एंकर्स के साथ काम करने का। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल में आप बेहद नजदीक से देख पाएंगे किस तरह से ITV नेटवर्क के दिग्गज पत्रकारों की टीम दिन रात खबरों पर काम करती है। इस कोर्स के दौरान आप सीखेंगे एंकरिंग की एक एक बारीकी उन एंकर्स के साथ जो देश को रखते हैं हर खबर से बाखबर। ITV नेक्स्ट मीडिया इंटरनेशनल स्कूल का ये कोर्स आपके एंकरिंग स्किल्स को करेगा इतना सशक्त मजबूत, जिससे आप बनेंगे वो चेहरा जो दुनिया देखेगी और पसंद करेगी।
पिछली बार 8 घंटे वाली बिजली चो कोई कट लग्या नहीं लग्या। कट दी गल तां छड्डो, बल्ब ने झमक्का भी नहीं मारना, झमक्का।
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਵੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ।
ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੀਐਮ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਵਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਏ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ ਏ।
ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਹਾੜੀਦਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਭਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਸ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ।
ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ 600 ਯੂਨਿਟ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ। 90% ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਭ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟਾਚਾਰ ਰੋਕਿਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਵਨਿਊ ਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਧਨ ਵਧਾਏ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ।
ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 1 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਵਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ 1 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਜਦ ਆਹ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣੀ ਆ ਜੀ।
ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਛੋਟਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮਾਂ 3500 ਰੁਪਈਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਐਤਕੀ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ। ਮਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਐਸਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਏ।
From the banks of the holy Ganga, where millions gather in devotion, the spectacle of spirituality,
ये शंखनाद, ये शानदार आगाज, ये रंगारंग कार्यक्रम अनेकता में एकता का संदेश देते देश भर से आए एथलीट 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों के आयोजन की ऐतिहासिक शुरुआत हो चुकी है। खेल और संस्कृति के इस अद्भुत समागम ने हर खिलाड़ी और खेल प्रेमियों को नई ऊर्जा से भर दिया है। राष्ट्रीय खेलों के मंच से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का संदेश साफ है। भारत का हर खिलाड़ी खेल की दुनिया में परचम लहराने के लिए तैयार है।
जब कोई देश स्पोर्ट्स में आगे बढ़ता है तो देश की शान भी बढ़ती है, देश का प्रोफाइल भी बढ़ता है। इसलिए आज स्पोर्ट्स को भारत के विकास से जोड़ा जा रहा है।
देवभूमि से खेल भूमि तक की ये यात्रा बदलते उत्तराखंड का एहसास करा रही है। प्रदेश के 11 जगहों पर तैयार ये वर्ल्ड क्लास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर राष्ट्रीय खेलों को भव्य बना रहा है। खिलाड़ियों में जीतने का ये जुनून रोमांचित कर रहा है। 14 फरवरी तक चलने वाले इस खेल महाकुंभ में एथलीटों का एक ही मूल मंत्र है, हर हाल में मेडल जीतना है। 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों को इको फ्रेंडली बनाया गया है। यहाँ तक कि खिलाड़ियों को दिए जा रहे मेडल भी ई वेस्ट से तैयार किए गए हैं।
राष्ट्रीय खेलों का आयोजन ग्रीन गेम्स की थीम पर कर रहे हैं। इस आयोजन में सौर ऊर्जा का व्यापक प्रयोग किया जाएगा। साथ ही पूरे आयोजन में प्लास्टिक का कम से कम उपयोग किया जाएगा।
विकसित उत्तराखंड की यात्रा विकल्प रहित संकल्प के साथ चल रही है। 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों का आयोजन इस यात्रा का अहम पड़ाव है। संकल्प से शिखर तक आगे बढ़ता उत्तराखंड।
ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰ 8 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਬਿਜਲੀ 'ਚੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੱਟ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ। ਕੱਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਛੱਡੋ, ਬੱਲਬ ਨੇ ਝਮੱਕਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾਰਨਾ, ਝਮੱਕਾ।
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਵੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ।
ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੀਐਮ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਵਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਏ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ ਏ।
ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਹਾੜੀਦਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਭਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਸ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ।
ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ 600 ਯੂਨਿਟ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ। 90% ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਭ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟਾਚਾਰ ਰੋਕਿਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਵਨਿਊ ਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਧਨ ਵਧਾਏ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ।
ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 1 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਵਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ 1 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਦ ਆਹ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣੀ ਆ ਜੀ।
ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਛੋਟਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮਾਂ 3500 ਰੁਪਈਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਐਤਕੀ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ। ਮਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਐਸਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਏ।
From the banks of the holy Ganga, where millions gather in devotion, a spectacle of spirituality.
Invest Karnataka 2025 is our chance to showcase Karnataka's best to the world. The business community, startups, academia, and even youngsters, I invite everyone to be part of this mega platform. From February 11th to 14th, let the world witness why Karnataka is the best destination to invest.
Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma, and the poll of polls is on NewsX. So all the poll agency numbers are at this point of time trickling in. There are as many as 8 poll agencies who have already put out their numbers, and here's a look at that. Well, first up is actually let's start off from the bottom. Most of those numbers that have now been flashed. DV Research is now the latest one to join the poll agencies that have released their numbers. As per DV Research, it's the BJP is all set to get seats between 36 and 44. The Indian National Congress will not open its account. Aam Aadmi Party between 26 and 34. Poll Diary has also released the numbers. Poll Diary has predicted that BJP will win the seats between 42 and 50. The Indian National Congress may win seats between 0 and 2, and Aam Aadmi Party will be stuck between 18 and 25 seats. Chanakya Strategy has also released the numbers, and it has predicted that BJP will be able to get as many as 39. This is somewhere between 39 and 44 seats is their projection. They have projected that the Indian National Congress may win between 2 and 3. They have also projected that Aam Aadmi Party may win as many as 25 seats. The margin is between 25 and 28 seats. People's Pulse has also come out with this number. It has projected, it has estimated that BJP is going to win anywhere between 51 and 60 seats. Indian National Congress will not win a single seat. Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 80 and 19 seats. People's Insight has given an edge to the BJP. It has projected that BJP may win anywhere between 40 and 44 seats. Indian National Congress may win between 0 and 1 seats. Aam Aadmi Party may win between 25 and 29 seats. PMAR, on the other hand, has once again given an edge to the BJP. It has projected that BJP may win seats between 39 and 49. Indian National Congress may open an account with 1 seat. Aam Aadmi Party may win between 21 and 31 seats. Then we have JVC poll survey. Poll agency putting out the numbers where the BJP is likely to win between 39 and 45 seats. Indian National Congress may win between 0 and 2 seats. Aam Aadmi Party may win between 27 and 34 seats. And finally, Matris, that was the #1 poll agency that released the numbers first. Well, the BJP, as per its projections, is likely to win between 35 and 46 seats. The Indian National Congress may win at the maximum 1 seat, and the Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 32 and 37 seats. Whichever way you see these projections, Aam Aadmi Party's seat share has slided to a considerable amount of numbers, considerable number of seats. Let's start our conversation. Back on the telecast with me is Dr. Sunny Deeman. Dr. Sunny Deeman, this is an interesting analysis. In every projected scenario of all these 8 poll agencies that have released their numbers, every single one of them have projected that BJP will cross the halfway mark. What do you make of it?
Yeah, so BJP was out of power like last, I think, 28 years. And what BJP could not do, AAP did in Delhi. So it replaced well-established political giant in Indian politics, Sheila Dikshit, with the person with a muffler and constant cuff, and who became a symbol of Aam Aadmi, who came to the Chief Minister office with his Wagoner. But suddenly things started moving. And after 2020 election, because Aam Aadmi Party led by Kejriwal was never against RSS, was never against the ideological underpinning which RSS was doing. So last 10 years, BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, because if you see, according to my own survey, I've seen many people who are hardcore BJP voter, but they would vote for Aam Aadmi Party in the assembly election. But this time there has been a change, because now Modi himself has promised that he will fulfill all the quote-unquote freebies to the Delhi public, and there has been a churning between.
Okay, all right. Let's hear it also from Neoma Gupta. She is the BJP spokesperson. Neoma, how do you have to react to the surveys, to the pollsters' predictions that are now out?
Good evening to all my panelists. I've already just had a debate with Prithvi sir right now. So just to say, the voice of the people is the echo chamber of having complete faith in the BJP government and complete frustration against the Aam Aadmi Party government. And I'm confident BJP will win the trust of the people this time, because from the booth level we had an overreaching campaign which addressed all the issues of the Delhi people. And as Dr. Sunny sir said very clearly, that Mr. Kejriwal's ideological shift has been rather large. One tends to take a step away, he took a leap away. He came on the grounds of an anti-corrupt messiah, I can use that word. Today he comes under the layer of corruption, whether it comes to multiple scams, and Sheesh Mahal is testament of that. And when it comes to the core issues of Delhi, the infrastructure, etc., he completely failed as a head of governance. In fact, when he even put Yamuna on plank and he admitted a fault. I mean, being a chief minister consecutively, you cannot admit to fail the fact that you have not cleaned the Yamuna. So today, when we are seeing all the I don't know what were the specific names of all the exit polls you take, it very much was clear from the word go. People want to be run by a good campaign, a good government who will deliver. And once you make a commitment to the people of Delhi, one wants them to be honored. And lastly, and most importantly, there's been no, we've cut across all social and political lines when it comes to Delhi. And over here, these guys at the nth moment constantly cause bias, classification, and even they went so low down by using the words genocide, trying to say that one state is trying to kill the other. That people of Delhi are such informed and emotional people; they're not going to listen to this. So the exit polls is just the beginning, and as I said, it's the echo chamber of the votes of the people.
Okay, let's also hear it from Prithvi Reddy. He is the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. Mr. Reddy, how do you view the agency pollsters' estimates and projections? If you take a look at these figures, every single one of those projections by every single agency has given BJP more than the halfway mark.
So I'm not going to comment on the exit polls purely because in 2013 we were given given 0, we got 28. In 2015, we were given 5 to 8 seats and we got 67. Last time we were given in the range of 40 and we got 62 seats. Recent exit polls have shown how unreliable they are. I think the very fact that they are done during the day, sometime during the day with a very small sample size, will also skew the exit polls. I think it's done to keep a cheer at the BJP and Prime Minister Modi. Let it at least last for 2-3 days until the results.
Okay, okay, all right. But do you think the exit polls could at this point of time have gotten it right, the pulse of the people?
Megha, what's really surprising is all the opinion polls done during the past 1 month until a couple of days ago were all indicating Aam Aadmi Party somewhere between 45 and 55 votes. Normally, an opinion poll indicates a direction even if they don't get the seats right. If you speak to anyone, they will tell you that an opinion poll is far more reliable purely because of the sample size, of the randomization of the demography. Please keep in mind that the data collected by the exit poll surveyors are normally outside a polling booth, and the BJP voter is more noisy, more vociferous compared to the voter of the Aam Aadmi Party, and that could have skewed the result.
Okay, all right. Joyita also on the telecast with me. Joyita, what is your first reaction? If we take a look at the poll of polls, BJP very comfortably crossing the halfway mark as per the projection, 43 seats. Indian National Congress will this time open its account with 1 as per the projection, and Aam Aadmi Party will not be able to cross the halfway mark. It is stuck at 26 seats.
Well, Megha, whatever we have been witnessing and whatever our reporters have been talking about, and the feedback that I have been getting from all of you, actually all of us have been getting from voters as such, is that there is a tough competition this time, particularly a large section of Aam Aadmi Party's core vote bank has been talking about change. Now, provided the freebies are kind of kept, they won't mind looking the other way, because and not just that, people in AAP have told me that it's a very, very tough election, that the BJP is determined to crush them and that they are in major trouble. Okay, so it is not the BJP or the others saying, it is this feedback I have got from inside AAP. So, obviously, something is not okay. The confidence that we saw with Aam Aadmi Party in 2022, 2020 and then 2015, that is not there any longer. And there is a whole lot of reasons, of course, for that. Apparently, this Sheesh Mahal thing has gone really viral. It is really impacting voter, I would say, the voter willingness to vote for Aam Aadmi Party. That has had an impact. This excise policy has killed AAP. So, you see the party that had come to power on the platform of clean politics, that thing has taken a huge hit. And it hasn't really helped. The controversies surrounding Arvind Kejriwal and all over the last few years, it hasn't really helped. And now a lot of people are talking about, why not let's give a chance to the BJP. That is a huge factor that is pushing him, making up, a lot of momentum is gathering on that, in terms of why not give a chance to the BJP. We have seen for such a long time Congress, we have seen the AAP, we have not seen BJP. So, and their MCD, bad track record of the AAP in MCD is also having an impact on them. So, yes, I would not be surprised if the BJP comes out tops, but at the same time AAP still has a very strong vote bank.
Prithviraj, what do you have to say to that, and particularly, do you think the Aam Aadmi Party is also fighting anti-incumbency at this point?
So, let me be very frank with you. The previous spoker, Ms. Basu, was mentioning that the Aam Aadmi Party also considers this a very difficult fight. I'm not going to deny that. And a large reason for that was the fact that Almost the top 5 leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party were put in jail. They've just come out a couple of months ago. So obviously, when you have your most senior leaders away, it is going to affect the party morale and the fact that we were not able to do many things that we would have liked to do. But I think all that changed. We fought a very, very hard campaign. All these days, the campaign in Delhi was always very, let me say, difficult, hard, but it was largely a vocal kind of attack. This time we've seen that the BJP has actually been not just attacking the Aam Aadmi Party volunteers in during this Delhi campaign, they were even attacking journalists, and this was all captured by the media.
Okay.
Lots
Okay.
of complaints
All right.
were filed, and there was no action taken. So I think this was a very vicious campaign, not just vocally vicious campaign. This time it was a very physically vicious campaign run by the BJP.
Okay, all right. I also have with me right now on my panel Piyush Pant. He's a senior journalist. Thank you, Mr. Pant, for joining me. And what again, first up, I would like to understand from you, how do you perceive the pollsters' numbers that have now been released?
I can't hear him.
Yeah, I think there seems to be an audio issue that Mr. Piyush Pant is facing. We'll try to fix that. But coming back to you, Neoma, how do you have to react to Mr. Radhi's allegations, particularly how the BJP leaders while campaigning, the candidates while campaigning have targeted the Aam Aadmi Party, and they have been derogatory in the kind of remarks that have been made there. They have been vicious in their campaign against Aam Aadmi Party. Is the allegation being made?
Okay, so just to tell Prithvi sir that this election was not about Mr. Kejriwal. Okay, so please get that abundantly clear. It was about how Delhi's infrastructure has collapsed in the last decade, despite their elected government having a brute majority in the capital. So, that confusion must be resolved. Sorry, sir, let me speak and then you can rebut. The Yamuna is filthy despite them spending something like 6,800 crores. The roads here are some of the worst in the world. They force children who don't score well to drop out just to inflate their school performances. They go a step further by orchestrating the beating of a Rajya Sabha MP in the premises of their now ex-CM. Their MLAs treat their areas terribly and take advantage of the trust, refusing to do basic things like cleaning up sewage. So over here, when they lose, when they're against the wall in any situation, they'll blame the BJP and they'll cry. I mean, recently, Mr. Kejriwal, who has Z plus security, comes and asks for more security. It's remarkable to what lengths one can go to have theatrics. So, Prithvi sir, I hold in a lot of respect because of the tenor of his debate, but one has to understand very, very fundamentally clearly that today, people of Delhi are frustrated with them as a failed government. You've not given us clean air. You've not given us anything. So you're going to lose primarily on the premise of being absolutely a failure in governance. So to come out and do all this theatrics and saying, oh, they didn't let us do this, they didn't let, what happened in Atishi ji's premises just about, I think, 48 hours back or 24 hours, correct me where I'm wrong, 5 lakh rupees cash was recovered from a person called Gaurav. So, we can also rake up whatever you want us to rake up, but why don't you just address the elephant in the room? You failed as a government. 10 years in a row, failure.
All right. Piyush Pant, if you can hear us, again, your perception, the projections are out, the estimates at this point of time being in favor of the BJP by all poll agencies, barring none.
Pardon, I didn't get you.
Even I couldn't get.
Can you repeat it?
So, how do you have to react to the pollsters' analysis and estimates?
Well, I think this is an indication of the anti-incumbency sentiment among the people, because the people were they got, particularly those people of the upper class strata and the floating voters. It seems they have decided to shift their loyalty to the Bharatiya Janata Party because they appeared too much disillusioned with the kind of politics being done by Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, particularly Arvind Kejriwal. So the lower strata is still with the Aam Aadmi Party, and those people are solidly with the Aam Aadmi Party because what they are getting in return, because they are getting so many facilities. So that section of the people in Delhi, they are still with the Aam Aadmi Party, and if Aam Aadmi Party is getting around 38, 40 seats, 35, whatever, according to these surveys. So it is because of that class. But the floating voters, they have shifted their loyalty to the BJP, it seems. And moreover, I think the way Congress fought this election, they have also damaged Aam Aadmi Party in a huge way. That's why it has benefited the Bharatiya Janata Party in 4 or 5 seats.
Okay, all right. Jyota, I'm coming back to you now. How credible are pollsters and poll agencies? We have seen what happened in the Lok Sabha elections. Every single one of these poll agencies was betting on BJP being the single largest party and crossing the halfway mark. And that did not happen. And there was a coalition that BJP then had to reach out to the JDU and it had to reach out to Chandrababu Naidu to form a government. Now again, do you think the credibility of poll agencies there's a question mark on them when there are repeatedly these errors made and these predictions are not right?
Well, Megha, you see how it happened in the Lok Sabha elections in particular, when there was talk about BJP sweeping the elections and all, there was an undercurrent of, I would say, narrative building up, or even for that matter, even there was some pollsters who were perhaps not out there in the open, but there was talk about that BJP may not do too well. So it was not that it came as a complete surprise to many of us, because we were hearing it that it may happen. In Delhi elections, what we have been hearing is that it's a very, it's a very close fight, and it's a very close fight. In fact, the BJP, I would say, even a month back, they were saying that there was a possibility. I mean, this is, that was the buzz in among reporters and all that BJP was doing around something 30, 32, something like that, and Aam Aadmi Party was just ahead, but BJP was confident of making up that. And a lot would depend on how many, the kind of voter turnout that would happen on election day. So if BJP has been able to reach that number, then I would say that BJP has put in some by the very hard work this time. I don't think they have ever really worked this hard for any Delhi election till date. So if these are the numbers, then then the predictions we have been hearing about on the ground, from being a very close fight to BJP getting an edge, this is what this polls are kind of indicating. So yes, that possibility is always there. But you see, considering Delhi is such a small place compared to the bigger states, I mean, it is much more easy, I would say, to get the pulse of Delhi than one would maybe get from, say, Maharashtra or UP, or for that matter Lok Sabha elections. I mean, you have to work with a very few people compared to any other state.
Okay.
So perhaps, but again, I am not going to stick my neck out and say, yeah, this is correct, because of the bad experience all of us have had in the last 1.5 years. So I would just say, let's wait and see.
Okay, all right. I can come back to you, Piyush Pant, and my question over here regarding Congress. The fact that there had been a lot of chatter about how the Congress could make a return, and it he might as well be a kingmaker over here if things come to a knot, and if no particular political party gets through the halfway mark. But as per projections, Congress still remains where it started. In fact, I think the maximum number of seats that one poll agency has predicted for the Congress is up to 3 seats. That's about it.
Well, Megha, I think that was much expectation by those who are saying all these things, because Congress was never going to achieve the way they fought the election, the way they ran their campaign, and the way the infighting goes on within the Congress organization. So things were not very well. Though of late they started intensive campaign, but it was too late. Then Rahul Gandhi was missing for 1 week, completely 1 week. All these things. So nobody was expecting them to be in the role of kingmaker, except for the Congress party or the sympathizer of Congress. So objectively, looking objectively, yes, we were seeing the fight which the Congress was fighting, the way they were fighting, and we were thinking that they will certainly they are going to increase their voting percentage and might land up with 1 or 2 seats. So here the poll surveys are showing the same thing, because Congress
all right. I'll just interrupt you over there. We have gotten the 9th poll survey, 9th poll agency that has put out its prediction. This is We Preside says, and this is interesting because this is sort of a reversal being played by this poll agency. It gives the majority more than the halfway mark to Aam Aadmi Party. It has projected that Aam Aadmi Party will win between 46 and 52 seats. BJP will win between 18 and 23 seats, and the Indian National Congress may win up to just 1 seat. So that's the anomaly amongst all the 9 pollsters who have come up with their poll estimates and projections. There is one amongst them that has gone out and put its numbers, estimated that Aam Aadmi Party may yet again get the halfway mark, win the election, but reduce the number of seats it had won in 2020. Coming back to you, Neoma Gupta, the issues today that I was talking to, when I was talking to my reporters, were on the ground. They were at all the constituencies. They spoke to a number of voters, and those voters had, there are clusters that have been made. There is various strata of the society, and each one of these stratas have different issues. So one set of community may talk about how they do not get clean water in their homes, or how their community and their RWAs are not clean enough, how they face the problems of potholes on the roads and waterlogging, which has been a constant strain. And on the other hand, there is another strata who is content, who is happy that they have gotten the benefits of healthcare, they have gotten the benefits of education, they have gotten the benefits of free bus rides and subsidies and schemes for women. Now, I would like to understand, this is a mixed bag, but how does this all build up to one political party trumping over the other this time around?
Right, that's a very interesting question, I must say. You see, Delhi is such a diverse city. We don't only have people from Delhi who are organically born here, we have different people coming from different states for opportunities and their futures to flourish. So as you correctly use the word mixed bag, I would go a step further and I said it's a vibrant mixed bag. And obviously, because it's a mixed bag, there are different demands, because a certain strata of people will have a certain, what they need, another strata will have what they need. And hence why BJP will be the ideal government, because when it comes to our manifesto, for example, all 3 parts of our manifesto, the BJP has given a complete voice to the people of Delhi, a voice that was like completely ignored, sidelined in the last 10 years. And there was a lot of participation when this manifesto was inculcated and cemented. So giving a reason to stay here and flourish here is exactly what BJP has in plan for every Delhiite. And if we remove the classification of people, there's some things which we have in common. The AQI, the pollution. I mean, it doesn't matter which sector of society you are in. We are all breathing an AQI of 400. So Aam Aadmi Party has not only failed at the macro level, they have failed at the micro level also. And hence, when we make predictions, over here, I'm going to make the prediction solely on one purpose, which is Aam Aadmi Party's failure. the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson has a constant smile on his face. But just to say, they said they care for poor people and other vulnerable societies and dominant like EWS populations which are in worse conditions. You look, go to Burari, Tirampol, Selampol. They claim to stand for Deshbhakti and principle, but they rake up caste and religious politics all the time. And they have failed miserably in basic amenities of Delhi, which is a constant, whether it comes to the middle class, the economically weaker section, or even the section which is economically doing very well. So they've infrastructurally failed for everybody. Okay, so
all right.
That's where my debate is.
Okay, all right. On that note, I'll take a short break. I'll request all my panelists to stay tuned, be on the network. I'll come back after this quick break and let's continue our conversation. You're watching our rolling coverage of the Delhi elections, voting that took place earlier, and now the exit poll results. Stay tuned.
Co-powered by PolicyBazaar.com. हर फैमिली होगी इंश्योर्ड.
I am proud to highlight Karnataka's crucial role in driving innovation in the aerospace and defense sector. Karnataka contributes to 65% of India's aerospace-related exports and caters to 70% supplier base for India's aerospace and defense industry. Supported by robust infrastructure, skilled talent, and global partnerships, Karnataka is shaping the future of India's aerospace aspirations. Invest Karnataka 2025 will further solidify our state's position as a preferred investor destination for aerospace and defense companies.
ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰ 8 ਘੰਟੇ ਵਾਲੀ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਚੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੱਟ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕੱਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਛੱਡੋ ਬੱਲਬ ਨੇ ਝਮੱਕਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾਰਨਾ ਝਮੱਕਾ
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਵੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ
ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੀਐਮ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਵਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਆ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਏ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ ਏ
ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਹਾੜੀਦਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਭਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਸ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ
ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ 600 ਯੂਨਿਟ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ 90% ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਭ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟਾਚਾਰ ਰੋਕਿਆ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਵਨਿਊ ਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਧਨ ਵਧਾਏ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ
ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 1 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਵਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ 1 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਦ ਆਹ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣੀ ਆ ਜੀ
ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਛੋਟਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ 3500 ਰੁਪਈਆ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਐਤਕੀ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਐਸਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਏ
खाने में कोई स्वाद नहीं है
अरे किफायती लाल
सस्ते वाले दाल मसाले स्वाद हुआ बेकार इधर कीमती लाल को देखो खाना बना कमाल MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल ये रंग दे ये खुशबू दे ये तीखा ये कम पड़े क्या निराला MDH मसाला
Karnataka is India's ultimate startup destination with over 14,000 registered startups and 45 unicorns. Bangalore, proudly known as the nation's startup capital, ranks third globally in the number of startups, cementing its place as a powerhouse of innovation. The city also has 144 incubators and accelerators and 1,500 plus VC funds. Karnataka's success is further driven by strong industry-government collaboration, a bold entrepreneurial spirit, and cutting-edge R&D hubs of global giants. As we approach our global investors meet, I eagerly look forward to recognizing and rewarding the startups shortlisted through Venturize, our international startup challenge. Venturize is set to boost startup ecosystem and drive innovation and entrepreneurship across the country. Join us as we accelerate growth and shape the future through Invest Karnataka 25.
बीमारी हुई तो पता लगा कि हॉस्पिटल का बिल ऑफिस के हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस से कई गुना ज्यादा है। काश मैंने हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस लिया होता।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 430 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
विश्व के सबसे बड़े सांस्कृतिक समागम महाकुंभ प्रयागराज में अग्नि सुरक्षा के लिए 24 घंटे सतर्क और तत्पर है उत्तर प्रदेश अग्निशमन तथा आपात सेवा बल। आप भी रहें जागरूक। कुकिंग गैस में अच्छी गुणवत्ता वाले एलपीजी पाइप और रेगुलेटर का प्रयोग करें। रसोई घर का निर्माण टीन शेड में करें। उपयोग के बाद रेगुलेटर नॉब से गैस सप्लाई बंद करें। एलपीजी गैस की गंध आने पर तुरंत रेगुलेटर व गैस स्टोव बंद करें। टेंट में एलपीजी गैस और ज्वलनशील पदार्थ का उपयोग न करें। शिविरों में मानक के अनुरूप बिजली के कार्य कराएं। उच्च रेटिंग वाले एमसीबी ईएससीबी का प्रयोग करें। सर्किट, बल्ब, ट्यूबलाइट के मध्य कम से कम 15 सेंटीमीटर की दूरी सुनिश्चित करें। अपना कर यह आसान उपाय महाकुंभ को बनाए सुरक्षा का पर्याय। स्वच्छ, सुरक्षित एवं सुव्यवस्थित महाकुंभ 2025 प्रयागराज।
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma. This is exit polls and the numbers on your screens. Poll of polls. Well, of the 9 poll surveys, the estimates and projections that have been put out on your screen, at the bottom of the screen and over here on the right hand side of the screen, say that BJP is going to be the party with the maximum number of seats. Not just the maximum number of seats, it's going to cross the halfway mark and form government. Well, there is one poll survey, one prediction by V Preside which bucks the trend and says that the Aam Aadmi Party is going to create history. It is going to come back to power the third time and in a hat trick that it started off in 2015 and has continued as per the survey up until 2025 as well. Let's start this conversation on the telecast with me. Let's go to Prithvi Reddy, who is the Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson. Prithvi Reddy, quick comments from you. I asked the same question to Neoma Gupta, that you know there are various strata of the society. Which sections of the Delhi community are more influenced by the Aam Aadmi Party than the rest?
Megha, I only hope V Pride is not declared an anti-national entity by the BJP. Neoma Gupta, the spokesperson from the BJP, unfortunately has a problem with me smiling. I'm thoroughly entertained, Neoma, and I'm so glad. I hope your joy. Please don't intervene. I hope your joy lasts beyond the results. As far as which sections of Delhi are influenced, I think we've had something for everyone in Delhi. We are talking about promises. We've educated children in Delhi. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 15 lakh children who have passed out of government schools in the past 10 years. We've looked after the health of people in Delhi. None of our programs are for a particular income class, whether it's schools, whether it's bus, whether it's healthcare. It's across all sections, and I do believe that all sections of society have benefited from the Aam Aadmi Party's governance. I'll give you a small example. Maybe Neoma Gupta does not need to send her children to a government school or use government health care, but there are people in her life, people who work for her, people who maids, drivers, people at her office who have benefited this. And I think the upper middle class and the well-to-do people do realize that this is a very small price to pay, and they are large-hearted enough to say that these are all Indians. Every child deserves a good education, and no one should die in India for a lack of healthcare. So I don't think
But
are.
Prithvi, do you know why I'm asking you this question? Because today my reporters were on the ground and they were spread out across Delhi and covering the election where the voters were coming out and casting their mandate. And you had to be there. I was listening to a number of these voters who were being spoken to. And certain sections, like you said, people have benefited from education, from healthcare, from other subsidies and schemes that have been provided by the Aam Aadmi Party. But there was another section that was disgruntled, and they were unhappy that they did not get clean tap water in their homes. They were unhappy that the cleanliness was an issue in their community and the RWAs. They were unhappy that the water logging was an issue that the Aam Aadmi Party government had not been able to resolve. So the reason I ask you is, are there more percentage of people in Delhi and coming from a certain strata of the society that are more influenced from AAP versus the others?
Megha, I think it's expected that direct beneficiaries would speak differently, and those who are getting indirectly benefited may not completely appreciate some of the schemes. There was a section of Delhi voters, especially the upper middle class and the rich class, who voted for the novelty of AAP, the fact that we came out of an anti-corruption movement. This was exactly BJP's intention of trying to prove that the Aam Aadmi Party is no different from them. If you notice, the BJP has never said they are not corrupt. They are only trying to prove that the Aam Aadmi Party is also corrupt. I come from the state of Karnataka, and the BJP has the worst reputation in the country as far as corruption goes, stemming out of Karnataka. So BJP can't claim that they are not corrupt. They have taken allies, they have broken other parties and taken the most corrupt people as per their own standards or their own claims and written off all their cases. Now,
okay, I'll come back to you, Prithvi. There seems to be an audio connection problem. But Joyita, coming to you, very interesting. What Prithvi said was those sections of the society, of the public in Delhi that may have a different perception of Aam Aadmi Party, who are direct beneficiaries. And this perception may be differing from other sections of the society. And it's interesting how politics functions, because do you think people who are being targeted by political parties are obviously then luring them and wooing them with freebies and schemes and welfare projects and putting money directly into their bank accounts? And at the end of the day, it's not a problem, or it is a problem, but it is not humongous till the time a person is getting money into their accounts, whether Yamuna is clean or not, whether air pollution is being tackled or not.
Well, actually, if you look at why, I am not talking about the first election or even for that matter 2022, ever since I would say 2020, ever since I would say that one of the perhaps the only attraction of the Aam Aadmi Party to the voter of that particular economic demography has been the freebies. In fact, if you talk to, as Mr. Reddy talked about, talk to drivers, talk to maids and all, the only thing that they say is that there is no way that we are going to vote for that party in the Lok Sabha elections, but we vote for them in the Vidhan Sabha primarily only because of the freebies and no other reason. So, you see, so yes, freebies have had a major impact on Delhi voters. In fact, I would say when it comes to South had a different kind of freebies, but when you look at the freebie culture that our politics has, that freebie face of politics, I would say that has developed in the last 10 years or so, it is primarily because of the Amad push that has been given by the Aam Aadmi Party, because of which both Congress and the BJP have been forced to take the same route. Now, when you are taking the same route, ultimately will it matter whose freebie is more than the freebie that we have, that the Aam Aadmi Party is giving? a lot will also depend on how much actual delivery has happened, because you see, to say that yes, we have done the best thing that has happened in this country and all, no, it does not work like that. People talk differently. Okay, people on the ground, they are pretty aware of what is going on. So when it becomes a battle of the freebies, what also matters is when all things given being equal, what also matters is governance beyond freebies, the image that you have, and that is where Aam Aadmi Party has taken a huge beating. Let us face it, I mean, even the AAP people are admitting that. But again, I am going to say, for a particular section of the economically poorest section of society, freebies, so called, well, it is not welfare actually, there is a difference between freebies and welfare. So that really matters.
Okay.
Stay
on with me, Joyita. Joining me right now is the BJP Delhi President Virendra Sachdeva. वीरेंद्र सचदेवा जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया न्यूज़एक्स से बात करने के लिए। और मेरा पहला प्रश्न, जो हमारे पोल सर्वेज आए हैं, यहाँ पे पोलस्टर्स ने प्रिडिक्ट किया है, 9 में से 8 पोलस्टर्स ये प्रिडिक्ट कर रहे हैं कि बीजेपी बहुमत के साथ दिल्ली के इलेक्शन जीत जाएगी। आपका इस पे क्या रिएक्शन है?
देखिए, एग्जिट पोल आज कह रहे हैं और मैं बहुत विनम्रता के साथ कह रहा हूँ, हम ये बात 3 महीने से कह रहे थे कि दिल्ली में आपदा सरकार जाएगी, भाजपा आएगी, क्योंकि हमने बैड गवर्नेंस को इशू बनाया, हमने करप्शन को इशू बनाया, हमने उन चीज़ों को इशू बनाया जिससे दिल्ली की जनता का सरोकार है। तो मुझे लगता है कि दिल्ली की जनता ने गुड गवर्नेंस के लिए वोट दिया, माननीय प्रधानमंत्री का जो काम है पिछले 10 सालों में भारत में, उसको सलाम करते हुए वोट दिया, और दिल्ली में आपदा जाएगी, भाजपा आएगी।
क्या आपको लगता है कि 10 साल जो आम आदमी पार्टी ने गवर्न किया है दिल्ली को, क्योंकि एंटी इनकम्बेंसी फैक्टर है जिसके कारण शायद लोग बीजेपी को वोट दे रहे हैं, चाहे क्योंकि वो कुछ चेंज चाहते हैं, परिवर्तन चाहते हैं?
नहीं, मैं फिर कह रहा हूँ जी, गवर्नेंस नाम की चीज थी कहाँ? उन्होंने गवर्न किया कहाँ है? उन्होंने सिर्फ गबन किया है, करप्शन किया है, सड़कें टूटी हुई हैं, लोग चल नहीं सकते, पीने का पानी गंदा आता है या आता ही नहीं है, सीवर ओवरफ्लो है दिल्ली में। एक रेनी सीजन में 15 मिनट की बारिश में 62 लोग डूब के मर जाए सड़क पर, इससे ज्यादा शर्मनाक क्या होगा? एजुकेशन के नाम पे 9th क्लास में 2-2 लाख बच्चे फेल कर दिए जाते हैं, और स्वास्थ्य के नाम पे दिल्ली के सरकारी अस्पतालों में नकली दवाइयां दी जाती हैं, मोहल्ला क्लिनिक के 65,000 फर्जी टेस्ट किए जाते हैं, जल बोर्ड को लूट के 73,000 करोड़ के घाटे में लाया जाता है। तो कोई एक विभाग तो होगा ना जहाँ दिल्ली ने कुछ गवर्नेंस किया हो। यहाँ गवर्नेंस कुछ नहीं था, यहाँ सिर्फ करप्शन था, उस करप्शन के खिलाफ दिल्ली की जनता ने वोट दिया।
जी वीरेंद्र जी, यहाँ पे जब मैनिफेस्टो की बात की जाए, काफी सारे फ्रीबीज, स्कीम्स, सब्सिडीज आम आदमी पार्टी डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करती जा रही है पिछले 10 साल में उनके गवर्नेंस की सरकार में। यहाँ पे अगर बीजेपी या कांग्रेस की भी अगर मैनिफेस्टोज को देखा जाए तो काफी सारे फ्रीबीज अनाउंस किए गए हैं, प्रोमिसेस किए गए हैं, वादे किए गए हैं। क्या अगर बीजेपी जीत जाती है और दिल्ली में अपनी सरकार बनाती है, क्या ये आम आदमी पार्टी की फ्रीबी पॉलिटिक्स आप कंटिन्यू रखेंगे?
ये पहले दिन से हमने कहा है कि जन कल्याण की जो योजनाएं चल रही हैं उसमें बिजली भी है, पानी भी है, उन्होंने डिलीवर नहीं किया, हम डिलीवर करके दिखाएंगे। मैं खुद 30 हफ्ते लगातार झुग्गियों में रहा हूँ, गया हूँ, रातों को सोया हूँ। हर झुग्गी वाले का 800, 2,000 रुपये का, 1,500 रुपये का बिल आता था। कहाँ बिजली फ्री है? पानी हर झुग्गी वाला रोज 60 से 80 रुपये, 100 रुपये का पानी रोज खरीद के पीता था। गंदे पानी पीने से दिल्ली के सरकारी अस्पतालों में 1 साल की रिपोर्ट है, मेरी नहीं है, दिल्ली सरकार की है, 2023-24 में 20,700 लोग मर गए। तो कहाँ है पानी? तो उन्होंने डिलीवर नहीं किया, अब हमारे पे डिलीवर करना है, क्योंकि हमने बाकी राज्यों में डिलीवर करके दिखाया। अगर हम 10 करोड़ 12 करोड़ घरों में नल से जल दे सकते हैं तो दिल्ली उससे अछूती क्यों रहेगी? दिल्ली को भी मिलेगा। अगर हम पूरे देश में 4 करोड़ लोगों को प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना से घर दे सकते हैं तो दिल्ली क्यों अछूती रहे? दिल्ली में 2017-18 से आयुष्मान योजना लागू नहीं होनी थी, 51 लाख लोगों का नुकसान हुआ दिल्ली में। अगर वो पैसा दिल्ली के स्वास्थ्य में लग जाता तो कितने लोगों को भला मिलता। अभीम योजना 2400 करोड़ रुपया दिल्ली की सरकार के लिए रखा हुआ है, लेकिन क्यों? क्योंकि वो प्रधानमंत्री का नाम जुड़ा तो मुझे लेना नहीं है, मेरा अहंकार आड़े आता है। तो वो पैसा अगर दिल्ली के हेल्थ सेक्टर पर लगता तो दिल्ली की हेल्थ सेक्टर अच्छा होता। तो दिल्ली में कई योजनाएं ऐसी हैं जो केंद्र सरकार की जानबूझकर अरविंद केजरीवाल ने रोकी है। जितनी योजनाएं चल रही थी उसको डिलीवरी के साथ पूरा करेंगे और साथ में केंद्र सरकार की योजनाओं का डबल बेनिफिट दिल्ली की जनता को देंगे।
तो आप बोल रहे हैं डबल इंजन सरकार आप चाहते हैं दिल्ली में आए, उससे गवर्नेंस मॉडल इंप्रूव होगा, लोगों को वेलफेयर होगा, लोगों की सहायता होगी, लोगों का कल्याण होगा। पर इस समय आम आदमी पार्टी बीजेपी को टारगेट करती है। आम आदमी पार्टी कहती है कि एक कोऑपरेशन, जो कोऑर्डिनेशन चाहिए सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के बीच, वो नहीं है, क्योंकि बीजेपी सरकार अपनी तानाशाही पे उतर आती है। चाहे वो अगर वो स्कीम्स की बात हो, चाहे कोई प्रोजेक्ट्स हो, इस पे वो हॉल्ट लगा देती है।
मुझे सिर्फ एक चीज बताइए, मैं 93 से शुरू करता हूँ। मदन लाल खुराना मुख्यमंत्री रहे, साहिब सिंह जी रहे, केंद्र में सरकार राजीव गांधी की थी, बाद में कुछ समय के लिए हमारी बनी, फिर इंद्र कुमार गुजराल भी रहे, वीपी सिंह भी रहे। क्या झगड़ा था जी? उसके बाद लगातार कांग्रेस की सरकार रही और दिल्ली में और केंद्र में बदलती रही, फिर कांग्रेस की और फिर अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी प्रधानमंत्री रहे। क्या झगड़ा था जी? बैठकर चर्चा होती थी, समस्या का समाधान निकलता था। लेकिन ये अजीब एक स्थिति आई आम आदमी पार्टी के आने के बाद, क्योंकि इन्होंने शुरू में आते ही कह दिया कि हम तो अनार्किस्ट हैं, हम तो अपनी शर्तों पे काम करेंगे। तो प्रशासन शर्तों से नहीं चलता है जी, समन्वय से चलता है। प्रशासन नियम से चलता है, प्रशासन कानून से चलता है। आप केंद्र की योजनाएं इसलिए लागू नहीं होने देंगे कि उसमें प्रधानमंत्री का नाम जुड़ा है। प्रगति मैदान टनल बनाने में 20% का हिस्सा देना था, नहीं दिया। दिल्ली मुंबई एक्सप्रेस से 1 साल डिले हुआ, क्यों? क्योंकि पेड़ काटने की परमिशन स्टेट सरकार ने देनी है, नहीं दी। द्वारका एक्सप्रेस वे लेट किया गया। मेट्रो का रिठाला कॉरिडोर जो अभी प्रधानमंत्री ने उद्घाटन किया, 1.5 साल लेट से शुरू हुआ, क्यों? क्योंकि अपने हिस्से का शेयर नहीं देना दिल्ली की सरकार ने। रैपिड रेल के लिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट को डांट लगानी पड़ी, तब भी 70% पैसे दिया, 30% नहीं दिया। तो जब विकास की योजनाओं में आप अहम ढूंढोगे, अहंकार ढूंढोगे, तो वो योजनाएं प्रभावित होती हैं। तो इसलिए दिल्ली को डबल इंजन की सरकार चाहिए, दिल्ली को विकास चाहिए, दिल्ली को विकसित राजधानी बनाना है, तो फिर उसमें अपने अहंकार से उठ के काम करने की जरूरत है।
पर आपको लगता है आम आदमी पार्टी का ये कहना है कि क्योंकि ऑपोजिशन की सरकार है स्टेट के अंदर, तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट अपनी तानाशाही करती है, क्योंकि काफी सारे इंपॉर्टेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स जो दिल्ली में हैं वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट चलाती है, इसीलिए आम आदमी पार्टी की गवर्नमेंट हैंडीकैप्ड है। और बीजेपी तभी साथ में कोऑपरेशन में काम करेगी अगर बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट स्टेट संभालेगी।
देखिए, दिल्ली यूनियन टेरिटरी है। अरविंद केजरीवाल को पता होना चाहिए कि यूनियन टेरिटरी के कितने आपके पास राइट्स हैं, कितने नहीं हैं। और ये बात पहले दिन से स्पष्ट है, कोई नई यूनियन टेरिटरी तो बनी नहीं है। और दिल्ली में हर चीज़, अगर 3 विभाग केंद्र सरकार के हैं तो केंद्र सरकार ही देखेगी। लेकिन आपको तो जितने विभाग आपके पास थे उसमें तो गवर्नेंस करते। शिक्षा के नाम पर हॉस्पिटल बनाने में अभी सीएजी की तो सिर्फ एक रिपोर्ट आई है कि 3 हॉस्पिटल में 382 करोड़ का घोटाला है। शराब की नीति किसने बनाने के लिए कहा था? केंद्र सरकार ने कहा था क्या? जब लोग कोविड में मर रहे थे, आप तो घर में छुप के बैठ गए, ऑक्सीजन रखने की जगह आपके पास नहीं थी, और उस समय आप शराब की नीति बना रहे थे। जो सीएजी की रिपोर्ट अभी आई नहीं, बताती है 2026 करोड़ का घोटाला है। शीश महल हमने बनाने के लिए कहा था क्या? एक प्लॉट, एक सरकारी मकान नहीं लेने वाला आदमी 4-4 बंगले तोड़ के 50,000 गज में अपना शीश महल बनाता है। किस लिए जी? कौन 50 लाख का कालीन लगाता है? कौन 10 लाख की कुर्सी लेता है? कौन उसमें महंगे महंगे कमोड बनाता है? हमें तो नहीं पता। ये किसने करने के लिए कहा था? ये गवर्नेंस होती है क्या? ये परिवर्तन था क्या? आपने दिल्ली को लूटने का काम किया, दिल्ली को धोखा देने का काम किया, तो दिल्ली ने उसका परिणाम देना ही है। 8 तारीख को परिणाम आएगा।
जी बिल्कुल, हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद वीरेंद्र सचदेव, बीजेपी दिल्ली प्रेसिडेंट, who spoke to us exclusively, and he has of course targeted the Aam Aadmi Party and has claimed that it is going to be the BJP government that will come to power after a long period of 28 years. I'm going to come back to Prithvi Rati. Prithvi, how do you have to react to what the BJP president had to say, particularly about his accusation that healthcare, water, the ways of the corrupt of the leaders of the Aam Aadmi Party have destroyed Delhi?
Meghna, it was really sad that Mr. Sachdev exposed himself and his party on national television, because he just said CAG report जो नहीं आ रहा है वो ये कहता है, meaning to say he's almost claiming that the BJP writes the report. It's really, really funny. He's exposed himself, and I think you should make a clipping of this, because it was a shocking revelation. As far as the electricity goes, he said he spoke to someone in some Juggi Jopuri who's getting a bill of 2,000 rupees. I wish he also spoke to people in Uttar Pradesh, because for 200 units of electricity in Uttar Pradesh, consumers are paying 4,000 rupees. And as I already said, Let them enjoy, the exit polls. I am very, very confident that the results are going to be very different when the counting happens on Saturday.
Okay, all right. On that note, let me also get in Piyush Pant, if you can hear us. Piyush, how do you think the situation of Delhi will improve if BJP were to come to power and replace Aam Aadmi Party? Do you think the problems of air pollution and Yamuna pollution, will they all be resolved suddenly, magically?
I don't think so, Mega. I don't have much hope because BJP is not much better than Aam Aadmi Party. We have been witnessing it throughout the India. And the pollution problem is a very big problem. And had the BJP government at the center intention to make it better, they would have initiated a dialogue with the Aam Aadmi Party government in Delhi, because this problem can be solved with a collective efforts. All person will have to collide with and find a solution and implement it. But the central government, moreover, if you talk about the cleaning of Yamuna, so you can take the example of the cleaning of Ganga. Still, the Ganga has not been cleaned, which was declared with much fanfare by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. So all the governments, mostly they are same. They claim so many things before the election, but post-election, their mode of governance is almost similar. So I don't have much hope. Moreover, I think it is better if the people defeat Aam Aadmi Party, because in that case, I think the BJP government at the center will again restore the powers that belong to the Delhi government, which had been snatched away by the central government.
Okay.
The power to take decision, the power to appointment, the power to transfer. So they had made the Delhi government totally ineffective by taking away the power. So I think in a way it will be good sense has prevailed over the Delhi electorate that they are defeating Aam Aadmi Party and bringing BJP to the power.
Okay, I'm going to come to you, Joyita. Do you agree with Piyush Pant that governments will come and go, but the shoddy state of affairs in Delhi are going to remain the same?
I mean, that's a very, very pessimistic way of looking at things. I mean, it's akin to saying if Congress, whatever we saw in the last 60-70 years, Prime Minister Modi would also continue the same way. Whatever UP has seen in the last so many years, it's going to be the same. It is going to be the same. So no, it does not work like that. Unless you are totally partisan, you are never going to say it, and that is why people vote. People always vote in the hope of a better future, of better surroundings, of a cleaner air, and that is why the vote, every single vote is so powerful that if a party does not perform, they can be voted out. And just because it is Aam Aadmi Party, there is nothing special about it. People have already given it 2 terms already, more than 2 actually. There was a 3rd term also before that. So you see, people have already given them whatever their due is. If the people think that no, they have not performed, and if people want to take a chance with another party, it goes without saying that party will have to deliver, and if that party is not going to deliver, they are going to be voted out. But the whole thing, oh no, BJP will not be able to do anything. How do you know? People are voting hoping that they will do something.
Right, absolutely. All right, on that note, I'm out of time. I thank all of you for joining me on the telecast. Stay tuned on NewsX. On the other side of this short break, we continue to dissect and analyze the numbers, the exit polls that have been quite the revelation. And let's see if their predictions are going to stand with the actual results that are going to come up on 7th of February. Stay tuned on NewsX.
ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰ 8 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਵਾਲੀ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਚੋਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੱਟ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕੱਟ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਤਾਂ ਛੱਡੋ ਬੱਲਬ ਨੇ ਝਮੱਕਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਾਰਨਾ ਝਮੱਕਾ
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਵੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ।
ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੀਐਮ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਵਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਏ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ ਏ।
ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਹਾੜੀਦਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਭਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਸ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ।
ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ 600 ਯੂਨਿਟ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ। 90% ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਭ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟਾਚਾਰ ਰੋਕਿਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਵਨਿਊ ਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਧਨ ਵਧਾਏ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ।
ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 1 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਵਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ 1 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਦ ਆਪਾਂ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣੀ ਆ ਜੀ।
ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਛੋਟਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ 3500 ਰੁਪਈਆ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਐਤਕੀ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ। ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਐਸਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਏ।
खाने में कोई स्वाद नहीं है।
अरे किफायती लाल सस्ते वाले दाल मसाले स्वाद हुआ बेकार। इधर कीमती लाल को देखो खाना बना कमाल। NewsX की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला NewsX मसाला।
सर ने जो टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस की पॉलिसी ली थी उसका क्लेम अप्रूव हो गया है। 2 करोड़ रुपए आपके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर हो चुके हैं।
थैंक यू रोहित। आपने और पॉलिसी बाजार ने इनकी टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लेने में हेल्प नहीं की होती तो पता नहीं मैं ये घर और वेद की पढ़ाई सब अकेले कैसे संभाल पाती।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 2 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 700 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
MDH का किचन किंग किचन में हो तो हम सब कुछ बना सकते हैं। बैंगन का भरता, आलू गोभी, भिंडी मसाला और भी बहुत कुछ।
MDH।
This budget has given us a very good allocation of 2,52,000 crore.
मिडिल क्लास को तो टैक्स मुक्ति कर दी।
Biggest relief as far as income tax concession is concerned.
A very major bonanza for the middle class.
State governments are now being offered 1.5 lakh crore of interest-free loans.
You're bringing in a new income tax bill, which is wonderful, and we're looking forward to that.
The biggest boost this budget has given is perhaps to the middle class.
More important is the implementation, the serious implementation on ground now.
It's a well-rounded budget, while the social sector and growth being the major focus.
We dream of exploration. We dream of space travel.
India also entered the space age with a satellite fleet.
We are Karnataka. We are the birthplace of India's space program, where efficiency and innovation have taken the world of aerospace to a whole new level, where the ecosystem supports every possible dream, from the most sophisticated defense aircrafts that protect nations, to commercial planes that safely transport millions of people every day. From satellites that help connect the world, to extraordinary machines that travel the universe. What we design and build here impacts global aerospace in diverse, critical ways. The biggest brands come to us because we focus on the tiniest details. Because 1 million parts work together with zero error margins. 1 million parts that need to be crafted with perfection and precision. The smallest ideas turn into larger-than-life creations in our thriving ecosystem. With our artisanal talent pool of homegrown and high-achieving minds, our business-friendly policies, our global network, and unparalleled talent, we continue to push the boundaries of human imagination. In Karnataka, dreams of the future become today's reality. Let's explore new frontiers together.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma, and this is a special episode where exit polls have now come out. There are 9 poll agencies who have predicted the results of the Delhi elections that took place earlier today. Let's take a look at all these numbers. And starting off with Matriz, who released its numbers. First, it has projected that BJP will cross the halfway mark. It has said that BJP is likely to win between 35 and 40 seats. Indian National Congress, in contrast, is likely to win up to only 1 seat, and Aam Aadmi Party between 32 and 37 seats. Something similar is being projected by JVC survey, which has come out and projected that the BJP is likely to win somewhere between 39 and 45 seats. The Indian National Congress is likely to win up to 2 seats, and Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 27 and 34 seats. Let's take a look at PMark, the third poll agency who released the exit poll numbers. The BJP, according to PMark, is likely to win between 39 and 49 seats. The Indian National Congress is likely to win only about 1 seat, and Aam Aadmi Party, as per the prediction by PMark, is somewhere between 21 and 31 seats. Let's take a look at the fourth poll agency, which is the People's Insight, which has given a higher range for the BJP for this election result. It says that the BJP is likely to win between 40 and 44 seats. Indian National Congress between 0 and 1 seat, and Aam Aadmi Party between 25 and 29 seats. So that's quite the massive loss for the Aam Aadmi Party if this prediction were to turn right. Well, we have the prediction of the fifth poll agency, which is the People's Pulse. The People's Pulse has in fact given the maximum number of seats of all the projections by all the poll agencies to BJP with between 51 and 60 seats. So People's Pulse is projecting that BJP in fact will end up winning between 51 and 60 seats, so it is likely to sweep the elections this time around. Indian National Congress is not going to open its account, while Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 10 and 19 seats. After that, we have the Chanakya poll survey result, the exit poll, where the exit poll suggests that BJP is likely to win between 39 and 44 seats. The Indian National Congress may win between 2 and 3 seats. Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 25 and 28 seats. Next up is Poll Diary. As per Poll Diary exit poll, the BJP is likely to win between 42 and 50 seats. Indian National Congress may win up to 2 seats, and Aam Aadmi Party, its seat share will reduce, which will be between 18 and 25 seats. DV Research has put out its poll survey, its exit poll. It says that the BJP is likely to win between 36 and 44 seats. Indian National Congress will not win a single seat, and Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win between 26 and 34 seats. Well, we preside, barring all the surveys that have been released, we preside is the only one who has projected that Aam Aadmi Party will sweep the election with a projected seat win between 46 and 52 seats. Well, the BJP will win between 18 and 23 seats, and as per we preside, Indian National Congress is only going to be able to win up to 1 seat. So, poll of polls, here you take a look at the numbers, and as per the poll of polls, BJP is likely to win 41 seats, which is more than the halfway mark of 36. Aam Aadmi Party is likely to win 29, which is a significant loss of seats from its 2020 poll result, and Indian National Congress unfortunately will not once again be able to open the account as per the poll of polls exit survey. Let's now try to dissect the numbers and see here in 2020, these were the figures. The BJP was only able to win 8 seats, which was in fact a 5-seat increase from the 2015 result of the BJP, which was dismal. At Aam Aadmi Party won 62 of those seats. So majority of the seats were with the Aam Aadmi Party. It was a clean sweep, even though the numbers had reduced from the 2015 win, which was 67 seats, to the 2020 win, which was 62 seats. The Indian National Congress did not open its account. And here's a contrast in 2025. If the exit poll numbers are anything to go by, BJP is likely to win 41 seats, which is going to be a change of 33 seats, an increase of 33 seats coming into BJP's kitty. Aam Aadmi Party, in contrast, if it ends up winning 29 seats, as is being estimated by the exit poll surveys, it is going to reduce the number of seats that it had won in 2020 by 33. Well, there is no change because Congress did not open its account in 2020. Same remains the story for the Congress in 2025 as well, if the poll surveys are anything to go by. So now that we have the numbers, it's safe to say whichever way the poll predictions have gone, they have assessed that that Aam Aadmi Party's seat share and vote share has reduced considerably. Whether the Aam Aadmi Party wins the election or it loses the election, its seat share has reduced. That's the analogy that has been made by every single one of these exit poll surveys. I'm going to start my conversation. I have with me Mr. Kamaljeet. Thank you very much for joining me. He's the BJP spokesperson. And my first question, what do you make of the poll projection, exit polls that have been released today?
That the seats are different in different surveys, but it's quite sure that BJP is going to make the Chief Minister of Delhi. And it was very much clear from the day one when the notification of election was done and we start visiting the area. The people, the public, they were very annoyed. They were feeling frustrating on the time when we were asking about the facility given by the Aam Aadmi Party, and they feel cheated. So from the day one, I just assume that the number will be increased, and definitely day by day, the people shown their beliefs in us, and today I can say that next Chief Minister of Delhi will be from our party, BJP.
Kamaljeet ji, also trying to understand from you, there have been promises that have been made by BJP as well. There have been promises made by Congress. Aam Aadmi Party has carried on with the freebie culture. Do you think if BJP were to come to power, you are going to carry on with this freebie culture, this scheme politics that has helped Aam Aadmi Party succeed in the past two elections?
You have to try to understand the role of a state government. State government should always have a plan of a combination. That should be the best infrastructure. Second, the social welfare scheme for the needy person of the state. And it's not the first thing. From the day one, in every state, free education, free health is there. It was the only marketing skills of Aam Aadmi Party that they make it understood to all the country persons that it's first time that they are giving these things free to Delhi. The other thing were promises by them, but they were not provided by them. On the other hand, if you will ask about our government, like Ayushman, our PM sir announced it, and from the day one, we are providing it to the whole country except Delhi and Bengal. What about the Ladli Behan? If you'll ask me, I will say that this was our scheme, and because of the schemes, our Sivraj, the CM, was always called Mama by the Madhya Pradesh public. So I just want to clear that social services and infrastructure development, this should be a good combination of a planning.
Okay.
And our government
Kamaljeet ji, one big allegation made by Aam Aadmi Party government that the BJP at the central level did not cooperate with the Aam Aadmi Party to launch schemes to allow for welfare projects to be launched in Delhi because it was an opposition party who was governing Delhi, and therefore cooperation not being shown by the central government led by BJP.
Just to question I have for them. Number one, Ayushman Bharat, a free treatment of rupees 5 lakh to the public persons. It was accepted by all the state governments except Delhi and Bengal. Why they have not accepted it? Second question,
But
ration
they're
card.
saying that their state healthcare schemes are much better than Ayushman Bharat, and therefore they are going to launch it and going to ensure that it penetrates into all the sections of the society in Delhi.
Meghna ji, I was just thinking that in my Lok Sabha, there are two government hospitals. One is Rao Tularam in Jafarpur, second is Deen Dayal. I was just assuming that they were having two-person on a bed before going in the public. But I can say the word, I feel very depressed when I come to know on a single bed, there are 4 to 5 patients. This thing I came to know by the public. So, whatever they are saying, they have the best model. They are the marketing manager. They were not providing anything. They were just playing with the words. They were playing with the sentiments. The public was very much clear about their last promises, and public also understood that Ayushman and ration card pension, this was the right given by the PM of our country, the central government of our country to the state, and it is the Delhi state Aam Aadmi Party who has not taken these schemes and just taking them away from these schemes. So this
Okay.
time Delhi public was very much clear about all these things.
So, if the BJP were to come to power, what is the chance? What are the promises that BJP at this point of time is going to fulfill? Most importantly, is the air quality and the pollution in Yamuna going to be improved? Or are you going to be following Aam Aadmi Party's footsteps to be providing funds, direct benefits to the poor sections of the society who are your vote banks, and forget about all the promises that you make about cleaning up Delhi?
I want to clear you one thing, that whatever the promises are included in our manifesto, within the given period of time of our 5 year, we will fulfill all the requirements, all the conditions which are given by us. We will fulfill all the promises. So it's our commitment to public that phase by phase we will provide everything, and the people will feel proud on the vote given by them.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us on the telecast and sharing your views. I also have with me on the telecast Priya Sehgal, Editorial Director, NewsX. Priya, what do you have to say? What was your perception after the exit poll results came out? Okay, while we get...
Hello?
Yeah, Priya, can you hear us? And what is your perception? What do you make of the exit poll predictions?
The exit poll prediction, I must say, the Congress was a no-brainer, because I don't think the Congress themselves were expecting anything more than what the exit polls have said. The BJP taking the lead over the Aam Aadmi Party is very interesting, because, when the elections began and the opinion polls in December were all predicting a Aam Aadmi Party to be way ahead, a clean sweep for Arvind Kejriwal. But somehow, especially in the last, I would say the mid-January, something changed, something turned. And, I interviewed Jay Panda also. He's the BJP in charge of the Delhi elections. And he explained to me, he says, the whole strategy was that we let Aam Aadmi Party peak. We let them take the initiative, let them take the lead in December. And towards January, that's when we came up with a manifesto. That's when we also had the Prime Minister's rallies in a big way. And we were, coming up with our promises, our schemes. We also had 27 BJP leaders deployed on the ground, like Dharmendra Pradhan, Anurag Thakur, etc. Going to various, each one was given two constituencies to go and meet people. And early on, before that, work was being done, but it was low profile, just on ground, going door to door, meeting people. But they came high profile mid-Jan, and then they just kept up the momentum. And of course, the budget was, I think, the final, because a lot of people I interviewed were saying, all these freebies and welfare schemes, what are the taxpayer getting out of it? So the budget came with something for the taxpayer. So if you look at their strategy, it was very well planned, well executed, as the BJP does, perhaps with help from the RSS. But they've delivered what they wanted to do. After 98, the BJP, if the exit polls are right, is going to be coming back.
Okay, all right. But the question remains, how do we trust the exit polls? We have seen, debacle after debacle by all these poll agencies and pollsters who have predicted time after time after time who is going to win the election. It has been in contrast to what they have actually predicted. So what are the chances this is going to work out?
Well, you're absolutely right. And it's a very brave channel that takes on exit polls. So we are doing, of course, a poll of the polls, but we also have our reporters who've been reporting on ground and talking to people. And they did seem, Aam Aadmi Party was putting up a very good fight. Kejriwal still has his loyalists. If you look at the woman voter, they are not going to be swayed by 2100 or 2500. They are happy with the free bus rides, with the, the access to the water bills, the Bijli Pani freebies. So they are happy with that kind. So I think Modi realized that, which is why he suddenly went midway and said, don't think कि BJP आएगी तो आपका free पानी बंद होगा. We will continue with that. So the women vote is very important. Kejriwal still has it. So each of the polls, I think the fight will be slightly closer, but towards the end, I think BJP somehow does have a way of managing narratives. So I would agree with the exit polls, Megha, in this case.
Okay, all right. Stay on with me, Priya. Also on the telecast with me, Professor Madhav Nalapad, Editorial Director of the Sunday Guardian. Professor Nalapad, your opinion of the exit poll. Do you think BJP has a chance to sweep the election this time around?
Look, I'd like to say that Lord Ram's Vanvas was 14 years. I mean, if my calculations are right, the BJP's Vanvas is almost 28 years. After that, you had 18 years of Sheila Dikshit. And Sheila Dikshit, frankly, ran a very good ship until the last 3 years when a lot of scandals came. And the Aam Aadmi Party took advantage of those scandals. And they basically poached the Congress vote, the Juggi Jopadi vote, much of the middle class vote, and the minority vote. The Aam Aadmi Party took it. In my view, I would say the edge is definitely with the BJP. There are some factors. One, the BJP has kept a consistent vote share of around 36%. You look at the last few elections, you've not got a dip below that vote share. The Aam Aadmi Party has seen a dip in its vote share. Secondly, Madan Lal Khurana factor. The fact was, Khurana was a very successful BJP chief minister. Then I think he fell foul of Mr. Advani or some high-up person in the BJP, and he was removed and replaced by Sahib Singh Verma, who turned out to be not very efficient. He was removed and replaced by Sushma Swaraj, either because she had no time or because she had no inclination. She also was not very successful. And frankly, the Aam Aadmi Party got the benefit of that Congress vote. And the Congress has been floundering in Delhi ever since. Of course, the BJP was hoping the Congress does much better, because every vote that the Congress will take will be from BJP. But today, the Khurana family has been brought back into Delhi politics by the BJP leadership. That's a very, very smart move by the BJP leadership. Madan Lal Khurana was a good leader. Unfortunately, some central leaders didn't like him, and they replaced him with Sahib Singh Verma. So this kind of situation, the voters resented, and after that, no BJP CM has come back. So my view is, it's very likely that because of the Modi factor, and I must admit that Home Minister Shah is very, very good at organizing a ground game campaign. I think, frankly, plus the fact that Aam Aadmi Party has no clear CM face, plus the fact that this budget, frankly, was the middle class, frankly, was pleasantly surprised. Not as happy as they could have been had it been a more generous budget, but it was way more generous than people expected. So quite definitely, I would say that the advantage is with the BJP. It had 36%. In my view, it's definitely going to cross about more than 40%.
Okay.
Much more than 40%.
Okay.
And in which case, the Aam Aadmi Party, I think, is going to drop behind. And the Congress, whatever it takes, will be from the Aam Aadmi Party. So I think the advantage is very definitely with the BJP.
I also have with me Himanshu Shukla, who's the BJP spokesperson. Mr. Shukla, do you think, as per the poll predictions in the exit poll, do you think the budget magic has worked in favor of the BJP because of the reshuffling of the taxpayer slabs?
Namaskar, everyone. I mean, it could come as a surprise to you guys, to everyone, but it wasn't a surprise for us. It was known for me, for the BJP people, and for Kejriwal as well, and their leaders, that we will win. From that time, they are leaving their seats and running away from Patparganj community seats and everywhere. So people already had faith in us. People have seen how much we have worked in the other states. What we have promised, we have delivered. And people were fed up of Arvind Kejriwal's fake promises from the past 10 years. He has made so much of fake promises, and in return, what the people have get? People have got bad sewers, bad air quality, bad education quality, bad health quality. Arvind Kejriwal ji has stooped so low in these elections, stooped so low that he has made a fake allegation of a genocide being happening in the Delhi. When people are so much pissed off him. My brothers, the civil workers, the Anganwadi workers, the Vidhva Ma, they have not got their pension, they have not got their salary. The 12,000 rupees of civil workers were pending by 6 to 8 months. The Asha workers have not got their salary by 6 months. The people were pissed of Arvind Kejriwal, of his fake promises, and they were sure that BJP will be coming.
Okay.
And talking about Congress, just one line. Talking about Congress, they were never serious about the elections. I mean, I have not seen any person being in the streets and campaigning for the people. And I guess probably Rahul Gandhi might have booked his first flight to the Bangkok by now.
Okay, all right. Advocate Thapar also on the telecast with me. And Manasvi, how do you view this situation? Do you think there is likelihood of a clean sweep by the BJP this time around? Or do you think there can be a neck and neck fight? And in case there is no party that gets the majority, how is this conundrum going to be resolved?
I don't think there is no majority going to be in the favor of BJP. If there is no majority that is coming, BJP already has the LG sorted. He's been working since many years in Delhi, and the kind of fight we have seen, which we have never seen between a chief minister and the LG, that's there for BJP in the favor of BJP. But having said that, I think my prediction in your channel was the similar line on the similar lines. BJP has the edge, and BJP has been building on this edge not from today. It's been 2013 when they got the largest number of seats. They had 33% of vote share. In 2015, they got around 32% of vote share. In 2020, they got around 38% of vote share. So BJP's vote bank has been consistently being consistent and increasing on time. And on the contrary, now what is going to happen is the Congress vote share, which was around 4% in the last election of 2020, will be increasing from 4% to around 10%, 12%, and that is going to be denting Aam Aadmi Party, because the anti-BJP vote share, which was around 50-60%, would be divided between Congress and Aam Aadmi Party, and that is going to be an edge for BJP. BJP's consolidated vote share has to be there, and further the Prime Minister's leadership, which the people of the entire nation believing, and the state elections are also fought on his name. That is going to add on the BJP factor. Further, what happens with BJP fights on two ways. One is a positive campaigning, other is a negative campaigning. Positive campaigning in terms of creating an image of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, creating the BJP persona, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's larger-than-life persona. That's what BJP promotes. Secondly, they also make sure that they have a negative campaigning for the people from the opposition. So the Sheesh Mahal narrative, the Yamuna River narrative. So these and non-delivery of promises by Arvind Kejriwal, these also they have made sure that in the minds of people that these issues are always there. They are relevant at the time when they go for voting. So this is what BJP makes sure that this also people remember. Apart from the positive campaign of BJP, they make sure the negative campaign of Aam Aadmi Party is continuously hampered on the face of voters. So this is going to add on to BJP, and I think this is going to be a great delivery for BJP. They are going to make a comeback after 30 years, almost 30 years, into the state of Delhi, and that's going to be something which they're going to deliver. They want to deliver. After 2024, the BJP has been completely transformed as a new party. Before 2024, they were thinking that they can fight alone. now they respect RSS. The RSS factor cannot be evaded. They respect RSS, they consider RSS, they consult RSS, and then they fight elections. And that's where the juggernaut of BJP combined with RSS is unstoppable in 2025, 2024 post the Lok Sabha. We saw Haryana, we saw Maharashtra, and we are seeing Delhi. And Delhi is going to be a great major victory for BJP, which they have not seen in last 30 years. And Arvind Kejriwal was the only sole leader from the opposition in 2015 and 2020 who could stop the juggernaut of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and that is going to be decimated right now. So this also becomes a survival thing.
No, but let's also be practical, because in 2020 BJP had just 8 seats, even though its seat share increased by 3 or 4 seats. In 2015 it had about 5 seats. So let's not just, we cannot, by no stretch of the imagination can it be said that it's taken a Herculean task for the Aam Aadmi Party to stop the quote unquote juggernaut of the BJP, at least in Delhi. I'm not saying for the rest of the country, I'm not saying Lok Sabha elections, but I'm talking about Delhi particularly. And truth be told, it is Aam Aadmi Party who won the election against the Congress. BJP was nowhere in the picture when the 2013 elections took place, and then obviously 2015 and so on and so forth. I'm going to get Priya Sehgal back into the telecast with me. And Priya Sehgal, as Manasvi said, issues such as Sheesh Mahal and Yamuna pollution, who's poisoning Yamuna, and these derogatory remarks being made against Atishi by the BJP leader. Do you really think these were the poll planks on the basis of which people cast their vote?
Well, good question, Megha. I don't know, because at the end of the day, campaigning has become very bitter and very personal in most of these elections. Ever since the BJP and the Modi era has begun, and more so when it is Modi and Kejriwal. With what people tell us is, if there is one person who really gets the Prime Minister's vote, it is Arvind Kejriwal. He has made it so personal. He has made the attack. It's both ways, not just from a Prime Minister BJP side, even from Aam Aadmi Party side. The attacks are very personal. They're very bitter. It's a very it's all gloves off kind of a campaign that is being done. Ek taraf se they were talking about Sheesh Mahal, they were talking about the Prime Minister's housing. Isn't that a Raj Mahal by itself? So there have been charges flying from both sides at the end of the day. Having said that, the BJP has the advantage. It does have the ED on its side and the CBI. Even the Supreme Court in Arvind Kejriwal's case has said that is it a cage parrot. So there is all that, because what Kejriwal held but made him different from the others was that he was anti-corruption. He was a corruption crusader. So look how smartly the BJP has gone and pulled that title away from him. First, they got him embroiled in the liquor scam, charges of that. They had him facing ED and a jail term. Then, of course, they had the charges of him, furnishing the CM's house, because Kejriwal can keep saying it's not Mera personal house, it is the CM's house. Tomorrow, if a BJP person is CM, he will also live in that house. But end of the day, this is the same CM who said, I don't want any this thing, I'm a Aam Aadmi. So, Kejriwal branded himself as someone who won't live in a Sheesh Mahal, and then he goes and does just that. So that worked against him. So BJP has caught Kejriwal really at his weakest and really gone on and on and on. And Kejriwal is someone, he's not a Rahul Gandhi. He is a very, very, if there is someone who matches Modi in, into wits, in political smarts, and in the way of campaigning and 24/7 politician, it is Arvind Kejriwal. Only Arvind Kejriwal doesn't have the organization or an RSS to back him up and back his ambitions. That's why he falls short. The long-term implication of this is going to be very interesting, because as I think Professor also said, that BJP, the one person who was stopping Kejriwal was Modi and the BJP was Arvind Kejriwal. Apart from Mamta, he was one person who's putting up a huge fight. Delhi is not a huge state, it's not even a state, but it is, in terms of optics, it is the capital city. So it is a trophy win for the BJP if they win it, and they've wrested away from Kejriwal. And the impact of this is going to be felt in Punjab also. Let's not forget that. So what it's going to mean for Aam Aadmi Party is something we can discuss later on. But it's been a very, very bitter, a very personal fight, Megha.
Okay, all right. Professor Nalapat again, how badly do you think has the excise policy scam, and because of which the jail term that had to be served by Arvind Kejriwal and his loyalists in the past few months, do you think that these may have been the causes if Aam Aadmi Party loses the election?
Look, Megha, it's a very important factor for a simple reason that, as Priya correctly said, Arvind Kejriwal has been the face of the Aam Aadmi Party throughout, frankly, right from the start of the Aam Aadmi Party. And the Aam Aadmi Party essentially was designed as a mechanism to capture the vote bank of the Congress Party. You know, I mean, what we call in Delhi, Juggi Jopdi and all that kind of thing. I think we should have a little more dignified name, economically weaker sections, and the minorities. So there is no question that he has taken a very hard knock because, frankly, Sheesh Mahal was completely the opposite of what people thought Arvind Kejriwal was. They thought he's the perfect middle class man. He comes from a middle class background. He was in the government. Doesn't seem to have made any money in the government. And his entire Aam Aadmi Party people behaved, most of them, like Aam Aadmi. And I think that is what attracted even the middle class and the economically weaker sections to him. Now, frankly, no Aam Aadmi or a middle class or an upper middle class or most elements of the upper class live in something as grand as the chief minister's residence. I mean, Delhi is in size a relatively small territory. And of course, the one important factor you must bear in mind is that Delhi is a combination of different people from different parts of India. You've got some areas where a lot of people from Tamil Nadu are there, from Kerala are there, from Kashmir are there, from Gujarat are there. It's a microcosm of the whole country. And I would say as much or much more than Mumbai. So yes, I think the Delhi election is going to be an important pointer to the hold of the BJP across the India. And if Arvind Kejriwal loses heavily the minority vote to the Congress party, and he loses this underprivileged vote to the Congress party, is going to severely delt him. The main thing that Rahul Gandhi is saying is, I am the alternative to Narendra Modi. I can get the minorities. I can get the economically weaker sections, and then the Congress party will win. But now the Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, if it continues to beat the Congress party hollow as it always has, well, that claim is going to ring very false. So, quite frankly, I think it's a boon to the BJP to have an opposition where the leadership is in this condition, because today we're used to a presidential style almost of government. The leader of the government is very important. And Narendra Modi, let's be honest, is head and shoulders above any other political leader in the country. Let's be honest about it.
Okay, all right. So that it is going to be an interesting fight, and let's wait for this February 7th for the results to come out. Meanwhile, I'll come to Himanshu Shukla, BJP spokesperson. Himanshu, is this the perception that it does not really matter if the air pollution in Delhi is resolved, the problem is resolved, whether Yamuna is cleaned up, whether the potholes are filled, and whether the waterlogging situation is figured out? Till the time freebies are being put into the bank accounts, freebies and schemes are being launched and executed and implemented for the underprivileged, till the time that the direct benefits are being handed out to the underprivileged, who also seem to be the important vote bank on the basis of which Arvind Kejriwal has been claiming his victories in the last two terms.
See, for these types of things, some economic calculation should be done. But before answering that, I'm going to answer the previous question which was made out for the BJP, that Aam Aadmi Party has made some negative, BJP has been making negative comments about the Aam Aadmi Party. So haven't you guys seen that Yamuna being hampered and AAP workers being beaten, and his own officers denied the allegations of the Aam Aadmi Party's head Arvind Kejriwal? So we have been seeing that Arvind Kejriwal has been making the negative remarks about BJP, which were false. Now coming to this point, I will answer this. See, before going to the ground, we make some economic calculation. See, the Delhi gets the 0.4% of the GDP in 2014. For these, in the year 2024, the GDP increases for the Delhi to 1.2% of the total income of the country. So, but after these, Arvind Kejriwal's party, demanded the 10,000 crore rupees from the NSSF funds. Despite all this coming to the money coming to the Delhi, the Jal board, the PWD board were going to the lowest. So these types of economic calculations should be made. And where was the money being gone? This was all going to the Aam Aadmi Party's people's pockets. So we have come to the point that we will be making some calculations that after the freebies, the infrastructure will be maintained, the roadways will be maintained, and everything will be done. And I have also told that people, my Anganwadi workers, civil workers, were not getting their salaries from the past 6 months. So the freebies are for them, so that they could run their household works. So these 2,500 money which we have guaranteed will be given to them for the people who have not received their salaries for the past 8 months, for the past 6 months. So these are for them. And after that, our main point is infrastructure. Being not in the government, we have already done so much for the Delhi. We have made international infrastructure like Pragati Maidan, Yasho Bhumi. We have, made 62 flyovers despite not being in the government. Now being in the government, we'll work more hard and we'll make sure that all this money which is going in the pockets of Aam Aadmi Party will be directly benefiting the workers.
Okay, that's obviously on with the condition that you win the election. Let's also understand these are the exit polls, that we don't really have the actual results with us right now. Coming back to you, Priya, the question is that today I was listening to my reporters who were on the ground and speaking to the voters. While there are different stratas of society in Delhi, and governments and political parties cater to them differently. For example, there were certain individuals, maybe from the middle class, who were unhappy that they had poor drinking facilities, did not have clean water coming from their taps in their households. They were unhappy that there were potholes and there was waterlogging and their communities and RWAs were not clean enough. On the other side, there were other communities and other areas within Delhi where people were satisfied that there was proper education being provided to their children and there was health care and they got direct benefits. Now, who is more influential in terms of winning the Delhi election?
Who is more influential? I think everyone has their vote, and whoever goes out to vote is very influential. And those who do armchair conversations and don't vote are not influential. End of the day, it's the vote that counts. But the vote that earlier on, Kejriwal had the vote of the economically weaker sections, because that's the people he really reached out to. He was an Aam Aadmi like them. He wore a muffler. He did not go in fancy cars, and he understood their problems and the kind of schemes and breaks that he gave them, whether it was a break in the electricity bill, free pani, free rights for women. It really worked a lot. He really got the mohalla clinics. The schools have improved under him. You can always find one school that has not worked, but by and large, I would say he has put up a model in place that has got acclaim internationally, not just in India. So he's the last 15 years, there has been a remarkable improvement in certain sections of our city. Now, of course, there is an anti-incumbency also which comes in, and the BJP has been very quick to also spread or rather bring out whatever his weaknesses were. And there's been this whole, Kejriwal's party is one-man driven. It's not an organizational party. So in BJP, you may target Kiran Bedi or whoever the CM faces, but the organization is there on the ground to work also, no? And the organization is different from the CM face. It has its own life. Here, they didn't put up a CM face. They fought on Modi ki guarantee. So that comes with its own double engine sarkar kind of connotations. The second point is that without Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party is nothing. So it is Kejriwal or nothing in Delhi. So, by targeting Kejriwal and weakening his hold over the people and his image, the BJP has really struck, they've struck on point really. So Kejriwal has had to battle a lot of fronts. He has to battle the BJP organization. organization. He has to battle his own tarnishing of his own character, and he had to defend his own schemes. Why he hasn't delivered on Yamuna, for instance? He was clear. He said, yes, I did make some promises which I couldn't deliver, first because of COVID, and then, of course, because he was put in jail in the last 6 months. So he has the excuse ready, but are the people of Delhi ready to give him a second chance, if or third chance, if the opinion polls, exit polls seem to indicate no, that the anti-incumbency has won, and they rather vote for an organization, faceless organization as of now in Delhi, but they voted for the BJP on the Modi ki guarantee, which itself for Prime Minister Modi, that's a huge comeback from just 6 months ago when the Lok Sabha results did not show such a great faith in his guarantee.
Okay, but then how much water does it hold when Aam Aadmi Party accuses BJP that the Yamuna water is poison?
No, but Kejriwal also kind of scored a sort of a self goal when he said कि हरियाणा के लोग poison कर रहे हैं.
Right.
Because everybody in Delhi has a relative in Gurgaon or somewhere in Haryana. It was not a move that went down well at all, considering he is also from Haryana. So he should have come up with a better answer than that. I think that didn't go down well at all, and everybody saw through it that it was just a political gimmick.
Okay, all right. I also have with me Dr. Piyush Joshi, political analyst. Dr. Joshi, let's hear it from you. The poll predictions are all out. Exit polls now are indicating that BJP is likely to have a clean sweep. What is your perception?
Well, if you look at those exit polls, with the magnifying glass, you will find that the biggest difference between the vote share is 3% at the most, and that is, falling well within the margin of error. If you ask them what their standard deviation were, if you ask them what their confidence interval were, anything and everything can reverse. It's majority of the exit polls are showing a vote percentage difference of 1 to 2%, and that is talking about those exit polls who are predicting a clear BJP majority. I think this election is too close to call when it comes to exit polls. When it comes to the reality on 8th of December, I think Aam Aadmi Party will lose certain seats but will genuinely scrape through. And I am predicting somewhere between 40 to 45 seats for Aam Aadmi Party in this particular election. And at the end of the day, it is the silent women voter of Delhi which is going to count for the majority. They have not opened their cards to anyone to let it be the party related surveyors, let it be the exit poll surveyors, let it be the telephonic surveyors. I think that voter is very important. Whether that voter remembers the free ride, whether that voter remembers the free schooling, that's where the Aam Aadmi Party volunteers comes in. Because the Aam Aadmi Party volunteer, if that volunteer has been able to remind them of the PTMs, of the classrooms, of the facilities that they have built up in the schools, if whether that volunteer has been able to remind them of the free bus rides, the free electricity, the free water supply that they are getting, the Janta ka paisa Janta ko wapas, that the Aam Aadmi Party volunteers keeps telling. Whether that message has been communicated door to door, we'll find out on it. But I personally believe that Aam Aadmi Party is going to have a majority. It's going to lose certain seats. How many? Maybe between 15 to 20, which is going to be a big learning lesson for Aam Aadmi Party, that they need to connect well. Their MLAs need to be present 24/7 on the ground. That anti-incumbency was there, there's no doubt, but whether that was against Mr. Kejriwal or against those MLAs, I believe those were against the MLAs, and we'll find out on 8th.
Okay, all right. I'm going to bring in another panelist who's joining me on the telecast. Let's hear it from Professor Madan Nalapat. Professor Nalapat, again, I'm very interested in knowing that how have these pollsters come to the figure of giving this wholesome sweeping majority to the BJP, a party that until last election was only not even in two figures. It won eight seats, could not even touch the two figures mark, has suddenly now overtaken the Aam Aadmi Party. And again the question, was it because of the hard work and the groundwork that has been done consistently by the BJP in Delhi, or is it because of the anti-incumbency factor whose benefits are being reaped by the BJP if the exit poll result is to go by?
Yeah, Megha, there's no doubt that the RSS is an important factor in the BJP's electoral fortunes. And also, I think all this gossip that was spread that there is a disconnect between RSS and BJP, I think all that gossip is now over. And the fact of the matter is, RSS is working very smoothly with the BJP. And frankly, its cadres are very well disciplined.
Yeah, but
They
then
are very,
I
very
think these
strongly
rumors also
motivated.
started floating, especially after BJP did not get the expected number of seats and votes in the Lok Sabha elections, and there was lot of
yeah.
criticism that came in from the
Yeah,
RSS.
I want to add one point here. All these estimates, including Dr. Joshi's, is based on the premise that the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP and the Congress are basically the Congress is nowhere in sight. That's been the case in most elections. Don't forget, Megha, Arvind Kejriwal did not set out to challenge the BJP. He has set out to challenge the Congress party. He set up in Karnataka, Goa, so many states, Haryana, Punjab, of course, he has got. He has set out to basically challenge and destroy the Congress party. And, that, frankly, is why I believe, even if it's a small vote share advantage, that vote share advantage is going to be quite helpful to the BJP. You have cases of a small vote share advantage translating into a sweep, and those examples also there statistically. So I would again like to say that if you look at the situation on the ground, and this has been my reading, I may be wrong, Dr. Joshi may be right, but in my personal view, the edge is definitely with the BJP, and there are three factors. One is Prime Minister Modi, his overpowering presence. The other is the organizational effort put in by the BJP, especially by Mr. Amit Shah. And the third is the very, very the strong cadres of the RSS that has, I think, gone all out in this election. So that is why I would like to stick my neck out and say that, I was saying initially tough fight, tough fight. But over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've been seeing a difference. And that's why I'm now sticking my neck out and saying it is advantage BJP, and very likely the BJP is going to break its double vanvas and come back to power on the gaddi of the chief ministership of Delhi.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Priya, coming to you, and you yourself mentioned that, there has been a perception that had been created in the country, in Delhi, in Punjab, that if there was a political party that could give, that had the potential of growing and then giving a tough fight to the BJP, was the Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal, and his acumen was greatly appreciated. A couple of examples: when Prime Minister Modi spoke about Ram Mandir, he would go and visit the Hanuman temples and narrate the Hanuman Chalisa, chant the Hanuman Chalisas. Another example, just during the campaigning period, he has announced that the Granthis and the temple priests are going to be getting increased pay. Do you think this perception may be deceptive if these poll results, if these exit poll results are anything to go by?
No, not deceptive. Arvind Kejriwal is the one person who can give Modi and has been giving Modi a takkar. It's just that he doesn't have the same organization that the BJP has at its disposal. Aam Aadmi Party is restricted to Delhi, Punjab, and pockets in Goa, Gujarat, etc. They don't have the pan India presence. He doesn't have an RSS presence, RSS type organization backing him. So he lacks that. But if you just look at the sheer audacity, the sheer ruthlessness, the political smarts, Modi and Arvind Kejriwal are more or less, if anyone who can give Modi a run for his money, it is Arvind Kejriwal. Whether it comes to campaigning, he didn't waste time into getting into a religion debate. He just said, I am also a Hindu. What makes me a bad Hindu? I can recite the Hanuman Chalisa at a drop. I can give welfare schemes and freebies to Granthis. He didn't fight him. He didn't want to get into that debate. So that debate was out of the window. Hinduism, who's a better Hindu, is not a part of the campaign slogan. He realized, why play with the BJP on his own field? Get the BJP to play on Kejriwal's field. Look at matter what happened, it is the BJP who went around copying Kejriwal schemes, from the women's schemes, from welfare schemes, from giving freebies, talking about even at the end of the day, Modi had to say that when we come to power, it's not that the free bijli with pani will be cut; it will continue. So Modi had to do a Kejriwal also. Let's not forget that. So he has been very smart, and he made them talk his terms. The only problem it seems to be that the BJP, that the people of Delhi, if the exit polls are right, feel that maybe the BJP can deliver better on Kejriwal schemes than Kejriwal himself. That's the irony of this whole election. You began an election fighting as to who is a better Modi or who is a Modi light, and in the end, ended up by saying who does a better Kejriwal. So it's a very confusing election at the end of the day. People of Delhi have been very smart and voted for themselves. At the end of the day, they're going to see who benefits us more. Whether you get 2100 or 2500 is not the matter. The question is who they feel has the faith to deliver, and who they feel will look after their interests more. It seems because Kejriwal has been so busy fighting so many fronts, the cases against him, his own party people going into jail, so he's been having, he's not been able to deliver because of various reasons. Maybe the people are feeling कि double engine सरकार काम करेगी दिल्ली में, LG के साथ इतना लड़ाई नहीं होगा, maybe our schemes will come faster, smoother, whatever the reasons are. But this is the Kejriwal model. The BJP has come up to power if they win on the Kejriwal model. So in that, Kejriwal can take some moral victory.
Okay, all right. On that note, I'm out of time. I thank you, Priya, and Professor Nalapad, and the BJP spokesperson, Mr. Himanshu Shukla, for joining me on the telecast, and thank you, Dr. Piyush Joshi, as well. On that note, I slip into a short break. Stay tuned on NewsX. We are continuing with our rolling coverage. Well, the exit poll results are out, but remains to be seen what the actual results are going to be. It's a matter of 2 days. Stay tuned on NewsX for all the updates, and of course, who is going to win 2025 Delhi elections? We are going to keep a close track on that. Thanks for watching.
ये शंखनाद, ये शानदार आगाज, ये रंगारंग कार्यक्रम अनेकता में एकता का संदेश देते देश भर से आए एथलीट 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों के आयोजन की ऐतिहासिक शुरुआत हो चुकी है। खेल और संस्कृति के इस अद्भुत समागम ने हर खिलाड़ी और खेल प्रेमियों को नई ऊर्जा से भर दिया है। राष्ट्रीय खेलों के मंच से प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का संदेश साफ है। भारत का हर खिलाड़ी खेल की दुनिया में परचम लहराने के लिए तैयार है।
जब कोई देश स्पोर्ट्स में आगे बढ़ता है तो देश की शान भी बढ़ती है, देश का प्रोफाइल भी बढ़ता है। इसलिए आज स्पोर्ट्स को भारत के विकास से जोड़ा जा रहा है।
देवभूमि से खेल भूमि तक की ये यात्रा बदलते उत्तराखंड का एहसास करा रही है। प्रदेश के 11 जगहों पर तैयार ये वर्ल्ड क्लास इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर राष्ट्रीय खेलों को भव्य बना रहा है। खिलाड़ियों में जीतने का ये जुनून रोमांचित कर रहा है। 14 फरवरी तक चलने वाले इस खेल महाकुंभ में एथलीटों का एक ही मूल मंत्र है, हर हाल में मेडल जीतना है। 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों को इको फ्रेंडली बनाया गया है। यहाँ तक कि खिलाड़ियों को दिए जा रहे मेडल भी ई वेस्ट से तैयार किए गए हैं।
राष्ट्रीय खेलों का आयोजन ग्रीन गेम्स की थीम पर कर रहे हैं। इस आयोजन में सौर ऊर्जा का व्यापक प्रयोग किया जाएगा। साथ ही पूरे आयोजन में प्लास्टिक का कम से कम उपयोग किया जाएगा।
विकसित उत्तराखंड की यात्रा विकल्प रहित संकल्प के साथ चल रही है। 38वें राष्ट्रीय खेलों का आयोजन इस यात्रा का अहम पड़ाव है। संकल्प से शिखर तक आगे बढ़ता उत्तराखंड।
खाने में कोई स्वाद नहीं है।
अरे किफायती लाल सस्ते वाले दाल मसाले स्वाद हुआ बेकार। इधर कीमती लाल को देखो खाना बना कमाल। NDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला NDH मसाला।
कभी सोचा नहीं था कि मुझे भी ऐसी बीमारी हो सकती है। लाखों के हॉस्पिटल बिल्स में पहले सारी सेविंग्स गई, अब ये घर भी।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 1 करोड़ का हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 430 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
NDH की देगी मीरज।
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
NDH की देगी मिर्च।
पिछली बार 8 घंटे वाली बिजली चो कोई कट लग्या नहीं लग्या। कट दी गल तां छड्डो, बल्ब ने चमक्का भी नहीं मारना, चमक्का।
ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਵੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਂਦਾ। ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਉਪਰਾਲਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ।
ਜੋ ਸਾਡੇ ਸੀਐਮ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਜੀ ਨੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਹਰੇਕ ਵਰਗ ਨੂੰ ਦੇਖਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵਾਅਦੇ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਪੂਰੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਾਡਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਏ ਉਹ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ ਏ।
ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਹਾੜੀਦਾਰ ਬੰਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਭਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਿੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਭਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਇਸ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਤੇ ਮਾਣ ਹੈ।
ਸਰਕਾਰ ਨੇ 600 ਯੂਨਿਟ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਫੈਸਲਾ ਲਿਆ ਸੀ। 90% ਘਰਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਉਹਦਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ। ਅਸੀਂ ਭ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਟਾਚਾਰ ਰੋਕਿਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਵਨਿਊ ਦੇ ਹੋਰ ਸਾਧਨ ਵਧਾਏ ਨੇ, ਤਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੋਕਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਤੇ ਕਿਸਾਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਫ੍ਰੀ ਮਿਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੰਡਸਟਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ।
ਮੇਰਾ ਬਿਜਲੀ ਦਾ ਬਿੱਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ 1 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਵਾ ਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਵੀ 1 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ ਵੀ ਆਂਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ। ਜਦ ਆਹ ਭਗਵੰਤ ਮਾਨ ਦੀ ਸਰਕਾਰ ਬਣੀ ਆ ਜੀ।
ਮੁੰਡਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਛੋਟਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਛਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਬਿੱਲ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ 3500 ਰੁਪਈਆ, ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਐਤਕੀ ਜ਼ੀਰੋ ਆਇਆ। ਮੈਂ ਫਿਰ ਐਸਾ ਮੁੱਖ ਮੰਤਰੀ ਪੂਰੇ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਬਣਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਏ।
खाने में कोई स्वाद नहीं है।
अरे किफायती लाल सस्ते वाले दाल मसाले स्वाद हुआ बेकार। इधर कीमती लाल को देखो खाना बना कमाल। NDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला NDH मसाला।
सर ने जो टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस की पॉलिसी ली थी उसका क्लेम अप्रूव हो गया है। 2 करोड़ रुपए आपके अकाउंट में ट्रांसफर हो चुके हैं।
थैंक यू रोहित। आपने और पॉलिसी बाजार ने इनकी टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लेने में हेल्प नहीं की होती तो पता नहीं मैं ये घर और वेद की पढ़ाई सब अकेले कैसे संभाल पाती।
पॉलिसी बाजार पर 2 करोड़ का टर्म लाइफ इंश्योरेंस सिर्फ 700 रुपए महीने से शुरू।
MDH का किचन किंग किचन में हो तो हम सब कुछ बना सकते हैं। बैंगन का भरता, आलू गोभी, भिंडी मसाला और भी बहुत कुछ।
MDH।
They say change is the only constant. And when change captures the imagination, it becomes a revolution. We in Karnataka are excited to be a part of the global sustainable transportation. Innovations that will make vehicles cleaner, greener, faster, smarter. We were pioneers in developing electric vehicles. Today, our ecosystem drives the future. We help the biggest names build automotive solutions of tomorrow. The best infrastructure supports ideas. As brands push to solve the most challenging problems, we empower them. Our network of highly specialized technical institutions is the foundation of our skilled and talented pool of automotive engineers. Our human resources are our greatest strength. They are the ones who create. They are the ones who dream. We are home to some of the most enterprising startups in the world. These innovative minds are pushing boundaries, building on ideas that are redefining the world of automotives, creating change. We want to bring change through our visionary policies, through our robust ecosystem, through our extraordinary talent pool. We want to change the future of transportation.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX. I'm Megha Sharma. Voting now is over. It has concluded and the Election Commission has recorded a total turnout of 57.7%. This was up until 5 p.m. All eyes are set on the exit polls in the next hour. But before we reflect on the numbers, we are roping in our experts and analysts to gauge the pulse of the people. Before we go to the Expertometer, let's get Pia on the telecast with us. And Pia, give us the numbers 6 p.m. What is the total voter turnout?
Now, the latest numbers recorded by the Election Commission, the voter turnout stands at 57.70% as for 5 p.m. Meanwhile, in New Delhi, 54.27 people, percentage of the population has inked their finger. In Karnataka, 51.81% of the people have cast their mandate. In Jangpura, 55.23% is the voter turnout. In Malve Nagar, 52.07% of the people have cast their mandate. Meanwhile, in Patparganj, 57.74% is the statistic recorded till 5 p.m. today. In Rohini, meanwhile, the number stands at 60.22%. Let's also take a look at Rajouri Garden in particular, where the voter turnout stands at 58.96%. In Greater Kailash, the number dips a little bit to 52%. Meanwhile, let's also take a look at the number recorded in Shakur Basti. 59.21% of the people have inked their finger till 5 o'clock. In Okhla, 52.77% people have cast their mandate. Last but not least, in Balli Maran, 59.56% of the people have cast their vote. Back to you, Megha.
All right. Thanks, Pia, for giving us all those numbers. Let's begin with our Expertometer. Expertometer is to gauge the pulse of the people, but particularly the 5 guests who join me very shortly, and we ask them to stick their neck out and give their best estimate of how the numbers will tally up. This is right before the poll of polls that will be conducted, and you will be privy to all the numbers in just about an hour's time. But let's start with NewsX Expertometer. Joining me on the telecast, first up is Sumit Peer. Sumit, thank you very much. And let's take a look at the numbers. So what is your estimate of the numbers that each of the 3 parties will be able to garner, and who do you think will win the election?
Megha ji, thank you as always having me on your show. Pleasure always to be with you. Well, looking at today, it's going to be a very sensational election. My numbers are, I am pessimistic with my numbers. I am giving 37 to BJP. I am given 2 to Congress and giving 31 to AAP. That is my number. That is how, to me, the number breakdown looks like. BJP is going to make it because I have been seeing the mood. I have been analyzing the trends. I don't feel like that there is a lahar or a wave for Kejriwal. The kind of a wave which I have seen in the previous elections. Well, that wave is completely missing, and his image has taken a major dent. And if you look at the voter turnout, 57.7%, it's not a major change in the voter turnout as well. So let's not expect a altogether different result. That is where I would put my numbers on.
Okay. All right. And let's take a look at specific VIP constituencies and the star candidates who are fighting the election. It is the New Delhi constituency. Let's start with that. Obviously, the Aam Aadmi Party national convener Arvind Kejriwal is fighting the election. He has won it successively in the previous elections as well, in 2015, in 2020, and now talking about 2025. What do you think? Do you think there is going to be a tough fight that will be given by the BJP's Parvesh Verma and of course Congress, Sheila Dikshit's son Sandeep Dikshit, fighting the election this time?
There's definitely going to be a very, very tight fight because Sandeep Dikshit is a heavyweight, Parvesh Verma is a heavyweight, Kejriwal is a heavyweight. We have to see where do the trends go. But I think looking at, because it's a triangular fight now, it's not a two-way fight, I am seeing advantage to Parvesh Verma. If he can pull his cards a little bit, I think Kejriwal, the kind of fiascos he has been trying to create for a lot of few days is in big trouble. Unfortunately, Mr. Dikshit may not be able to make it, but he is going to give a run of money to Kejriwal. And if he gives a run of money to Kejriwal, it's advantage Mr. Verma. That is how the equation looks to me.
Okay, I'm also going to pick one very interesting constituency, which is the Okhla Assembly constituency. This time around, of course, Amanatullah Khan, the veteran of the Aam Aadmi Party who has been winning Okhla constituency for the last 3 terms consecutively. But this time around, there is the AIMIM who has decided to field a candidate from the Okhla constituency. How is this going to tally up? And will it be to the benefit of Aam Aadmi Party? Will there be reduction of votes for Aam Aadmi Party and Amanatullah Khan this time?
I think this will be completely advantageous to the Congress Muslim candidate. And don't be surprised, Meghaji, if Okhla and Selampur goes Congress's way. The two seats which I'm giving them is for considering Okhla and Selampur only. I'm not betting my neck on any else seat because there is a chance, because there's a lot of anti-incumbency against Amanatullah Khan. Congress putting a Muslim candidate, and then you have this AIMIM fielding its own candidate. So these two seats might go to Congress, and I've seen Rahul Gandhi campaign in these two seats. So why did out of the whole Delhi he pick these two seats? And if you look at the selection of candidates, if you look at the mathematics around it, it looks like Congress might be able to open their account with two seats in these two seats, Okhla and Selampur.
Okay, all right, but let's talk about, you talk about Greater Kailash, you're talking about Jangpura, the only people that, the only candidates that people are well aware of, heard their names, like Greater Kailash, it's Saurabh Bharadwaj, Jangpura, it's Manish Sisodia. You know, when you talk about BJP and the Congress, nobody even knows who these individuals are.
I think it's not a question of when it comes to BJP, you know, individuals do matter, but individuals don't determine everything. You know, BJP works on Modi ki guarantee. BJP works on the organization. BJP works on the cadre. Whereas Aam Aadmi has to typically stick to the personality. While in Congress also, it's a 70-30, 70% personality, 30% party. So if you look at that way, the candidates are fielded by, like for example, if you look at Pravesh Verma, everybody knows Pravesh Verma. For example, if you look at Ashish Sood from Janakpuri, people know Ashish Sood in that area. If you look at Sirsaji, people know Sirsaji in that part of Delhi. He might not be known in Jamna Par, but in his part of Delhi, West Delhi, Sirsaji is well known. So if you look at the BJP's selection of candidates, Meghaji, either it's a heavyweight, you know, like Dushyant Gautam, who is, as a general secretary, is fighting the MLA ka chunav, or then you have a completely different face which doesn't carry a lot of the baggage of the past. Then you have the Modi ki guarantee, which is basically where the magic wand is. And if these three can things work well, and luckily Congress is fighting an election this time for a change. Last two elections, Congress has been giving it a miss. Congress fighting an election, and you know, is an advantage to BJP. There's no doubt about that.
Okay, and when finally, let's also talk about Kalkaji. You know, distinguished big names over here. Alka Lamba from the Congress, Atishi is from Aam Aadmi Party. She is the interim chief minister of Delhi right now. Ramesh Biduri of the BJP. Do you think the BJP and the Congress have tried to give a tough fight to Atishi from this constituency?
Definitely, Ramesh Biduri is a heavyweight, but if you ask me my assessment, I will still say it's an advantage to Archie, because you know the constituency, if you understand the dynamics of it, that is very well placed for Archie. But you know, Alka Lamba and Biduri are going to give a tough fight to Archie. If there can be any surprise, it won't be Alka Lamba, it will be Ramesh Biduri. So if there's either it is, in my assessment, I would say 70% it goes to Archie, 30% is Biduri. Alka ji to uske baad number aata hai. She's not, you know, even that 30%, but she's going to give a tough fight like Kejriwal will get a tough fight from Sandeep Dixit.
Okay, now, you know, I want to make a general analysis of your prediction. You've said that BJP will get 37, Aam Aadmi Party will reduce to 31, so which is almost half the number of seats that it won, because it won 62 last time around, and 31 is just half the seats. Just half the seats that as per your prediction it will be able to get. Congress at 2. So what is this game changer that BJP will bring around according to you? Because the last time around it had only been able to win 5 seats, which was in fact a number increase, because last time around it had only won 3.
You see, Meghaji, there are just 5 simple factors. First factor is the image of AAP and Kejriwal and all is dented. It is not there what it used to be. There's anti-incumbency. Congress is fighting a good election, which I compliment them for, which is an advantage to BJP. Fourth factor which is going to matter is, look, BJP needs 6% vote share to win the election. 3% had already happened, and 6% it happens, it will win. If it is able to make it to 10%, it will sweep. Now, the question is the Muslim vote. There is around 10-12% Muslim vote, and there is 5% Sikh vote. Does it split? If Muslim and Sikh vote splits, how much does it split, or which way does it split? That is where the balance 3-4-6% is going to come from. Because even if it splits, you are not, even if you maintain your same vote percentage, other vote share splits. Look, last time Muslims en masse voted Kejriwal, and 80% of the Sikh brothers voted Kejriwal. But when I talk to my friends in the Sikh community, they are not going to do that same, and even Muslim community is divided. So let's see if Congress is able to pull that 3, 4, 5% of the Muslim vote out of 10% of Aam Aadmi Party. So it's like, I don't have to increase my line, but if the other two lines become smaller, it's an advantage to me. So this is where the equation is going to be. I'm for sure 3% vote swing has happened. I will be watching out. Is it 6? I bet it should be around 6. Can it go to even 10? If it's 10, it will be a complete role reversal. My numbers will be look very less for BJP then if the 10% vote swing happens or the vote division happens. We have to wait and watch another 1 hour. We'll come to know how does it look.
All right. Thanks, Sumit, for joining us and being part of the NewsX Expertometer. Next up, let's invite Ajay Kumar Jha, who's a political analyst. Thank you, Ajay, for joining us, and let's put out those numbers that you have predicted. You said BJP is going to get round about 38 to 40 seats, Aam Aadmi Party 30 to 31 seats, and the Indian National Congress maybe 1 seat at the maximum. So if you could help us analyze what is the reason that you've given this seat distribution to these three parties?
Actually, this is my revised estimate, ma'am. The previous day I had given AAP 36 to 38, BJP 32 to 34, and Congress Party 1 to 2. But today I have revised it, and now it has turned in a different way. BJP, I find, is now going to form government if everything goes as per my analysis. I understand there are various factors which we should take into account. It is understood that the voting percentage counts most, but the turnout of voters, which section of the voter is turning out, that is very important. Actually, what is happening these days, even in the developed countries, we have seen that the educated class people, they are not coming out to vote as much as the underprivileged, or I won't say that uneducated, but those people who are still on the lower rung of societal development, they prefer to come for voting more in comparison to the middle class and the affluent class people. That is one thing. So which class of the people are turning out to vote for whatever party they wish to? So in my understanding, even this time, in spite of the fact that BJP just a few days ago when budget came out and there was a big impression that BJP is going to get because of the middle class people who have been given so much support or so much new privileges or in terms of income tax or whatever. So it is going to go in favor of BJP. Yes, it must go, but depending upon how many of them come out, because in the middle class, who are the people? Middle class, most of them are either service goers, office goers, corporate people, and such people who are entrepreneurs in their own way, in their own right.
Okay.
They are the people.
Okay, all right. It's interesting because, I'm going to also speak to the other political analysts and commentators who will be joining me very shortly after you, and all of you have accorded an increase of about 28 to 30 seats to the BJP. A few here and there notwithstanding, but I am interested in knowing that what do you think has been done by the BJP that is, according to you, making the mind of the BJP of the Delhiite, of the voter, to then decide to go and vote for the BJP if these numbers is what we go by. Ajay Jha, the question is for you.
Oh, sorry, I didn't call. Yeah, what did you ask, ma'am?
Why? What is it? What is it that is drawing, according to you, the people of Delhi, the voters of Delhi, to vote for BJP this time around, as per the division of votes, as per the division of seats that you have brought down?
Oh, there are clearer factors. First of all, the middle class is very important. Delhi itself is largely a middle class and lower class people city, where the number of middle class we know has been increasing over the years, and at the same time the number of other sections of people down the line, their number is also increasing. Now this time the most important factor which I think would be in the context of if we go by the lower class people, those who are not so much privileged, they would be divided. They would not be in the same like the previous elections where it went almost en masse, en bloc. They voted for Kejriwal, and Kejriwal in fact gave them full support also, because he provided all sorts of the basic requirements, at least in case of electricity, water, and all water, not in terms of the fresh water or clean water, but in terms of at least they are getting it. But electricity was one, and free ride to women on buses, and then again pilgrimage, free pilgrimage to the elderly people, and all those things. Those things actually it went well with them, and so that was en bloc. This time I don't think it is going to be go en bloc of in this section. It will be divided. It will be divided depending upon.
Okay. I also want to understand from you today. More or less the elections, the voting that happened was calm, composed. There were no unprecedented developments that took place. The police and the paramilitary were in total control of the situation on the ground. But still, there were certain isolated incidents where allegations were made by the BJP that there was fake voting that was taking place in Selampur. Then Saurabh Bharadwaj came out and accused the Delhi police that the police were blocking the voters from going to the polling stations and voting. There was allegations of money being distributed. This was an allegation made by the BJP against the Aam Aadmi Party. So do you think this was just a tactic by the politicians to target each other on the day of election? Or do you think there may have been these isolated incidents where politicians may have tried to leverage their position by way of money or fake voting and so on and so forth? Yes, Mr. Ajay.
Yes, actually, but such cases cannot be said that it has been seen everywhere. But isolated cases might have been seen, and it has been seen, no doubt about it. But the most important part is how much it goes down the psyche of the people. If it really is giving some kind of understanding among such people, no, some mischief is being created by BJP or by Congress, then it can work. But I don't think it. Now, people have understood over a period of time, last 10 years, that what Gmix app has been playing all along, and what good they have been doing for them. Both things have been going together. So even the lesser privileged people, they have the wisdom to understand what actually the matter is. The only thing which guides them or which leads them to the voting booth is what in benefit they are getting, number one, and what aspirations do they have for future. So far as the future aspirations
also, my reporters were on the ground for the entirety of the day across the length and breadth of Delhi. They were in New Delhi, they were in Patpatganj, Okhla, all these constituencies, and they were speaking to people. And I heard a number of voters who came out to vote. They were from, particularly the middle class. Some of them said that, they had problems of water that was not clean in their homes. They talked about broken roads, they talked about waterlogging, they talked about cleanliness of their community and the RWAs. Those were issues that they raised. And then there were certain communities and certain voters who came out and said that they are happy that they have been getting subsidies and schemes, and education is something that they are very happy about, and the medical assistance and health facilities that are being provided to them, they are satisfied with it. So again, do you think this is a mixed bag? Do you think one political party may have been catering to one section of the society versus the other?
Certainly, that is what I was referring to. The society, the different sections of society, they are divided in their opinion this time, very much divided. Even the underprivileged people, they are divided. for the simple reason that, okay, they are getting those things. But this is the time when Prime Minister himself has come out with the assurance that whatever benefit they are getting, they would be getting even in their term, even in BJP's term, if it comes to power.
Right.
So the faith in Prime Minister is so much that many people can be driven by his assurances. Number one, so at least that part is very clear to them that this we are going to get in any case. But at the same time, they would also be getting another other benefits also, because Prime Minister has promised that they would be getting fresh water, Jamuna clean, and all those things which have not been done as yet. But what they had been getting, or they have been getting, it would continue to be provided to them. So that much, and the kind of
all right, fair
which
enough.
Prime Minister,
You've put out your points of view, and we'll obviously be able to find out what happens on 7th of February when the results are announced by the Election Commission. Joining me also on the telecast right now is Ashutosh Sharma. Ashutosh Sharma, thank you very much for joining us on NewsX Expertometer, and let's quickly break down the figures that you at this point in time have estimated are going to be sealing the fate of the BJP, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party.
Sure. As per my survey, as per my estimate, I had given that BJP is going to get 28 to 32 seats, and our party is going to get anything 32, 36, 38 seats. And Congress, they might open an account with 1 or 2 seats. That was my earlier estimate, but I'll like to revise it now. That things have changed by the time the election voting has closed. The percent, I would say now the BJP has a slight edge over our party. So I'm going to give BJP anything between 36 to 42 seats, and Congress might open an account with 1 or 2 seats, and rest of the seats are going to our party. This time, the people have realized, those who voted AAP earlier for last 2 terms, that our party has failed to provide the basic needs to the resident of Delhi, what they promised. Many of the things they were talked on paper, they were talked in television, and in fact, those things are not being provided. Delhi is facing with the acute problem of water problem. Residents of Delhi are not getting the fresh, pure water. That's very dirty and polluted. Air of Delhi is very polluted, and sometimes the peak of air pollution was so bad that even it was difficult. It made life of Delhi like hell. It looked as if the Delhi people are living in the chamber of gas. So roads are in very pathetic condition. The sanitary services are not up to the mark what had been promised. The schools, as it was promised by our party, they're going to open 500 schools and 20 other technical colleges, that extra. Everything remained on paper. Nothing is being delivered to the people of Delhi. The teachers, those who are in schools, they have not yet got their salaries. And many other promises of theirs remain to be fulfilled. So now people have lesser faith. I am talking to the local people. I am traveling by.
Okay, but do you think the society is segmented? The people who vote for Arvind Kejriwal or have been voting for Aam Aadmi Party for the past so many years, and there are different sets of concerns. Do you think certain sections may not bother about whether the Yamuna is clean, whether the air pollution in Delhi is killing people, is causing so many medical issues, health problems amongst people, till the time they are getting the freebies, till the time the welfare projects are putting money into their accounts, till the time they are getting free health benefits, free education?
See, how long can you sustain on freebies? How long can you continue to give freebies? I mean, there are section of society which like to have freebies. Now, what our party has been offered, BJP is also countered the same, or rather they bettered our party. Our party was giving 2,100 rupees to the ladies, and BJP has offered 2,500 rupees. So when it comes to the offers, I think both the parties, they are trying to offer better than the other one. But now the faith, the resident of Delhi, that is swing in favor of BJP. I am talking to the normal people. I am talking to the dwellers, those who are living in the chuggis. I am talking to the common people, auto rickshaw driver, taxi drivers, and they said they're not satisfied with the AAP. What they had promised, the aim and objective what they had shown 10 years back, they have remained to still unfulfilled. So they want to see the change, and they want a better life in Delhi. Even the people living in the slums and jhuggis, they're living in clusters. Those who had voted in big terms to bring our party to the cabinet, to form the cabinet. They voted not only once, they voted twice, they voted 3 times.
Okay.
But all the policies which are being made by our party, they remain unfulfilled.
Okay.
Except free buses, water and electricity. Many more things are yet to be done, and now people have realized the magic of Modi. BJP is a more united party, and whatever the Prime Minister says, he fulfills. So people's faith, people's interest, that it is swing to BJP. So I think the BJP is going to form the government in Delhi.
Okay.
And
So let's also talk about the VIP constituencies. You know, all the big faces. Let's talk about Arvind Kejriwal and Parvesh Verma and Sandeep Dixit in New Delhi.
Arvind
Do you
Kejriwal
think there is a chance that the BJP's candidate or Congress's candidate could upset Arvind Kejriwal's chances of winning from this seat?
Yeah. Well, I was coming to that. It is difficult for Kejriwal to defend his seat. I mean, he's going to get a big fight. Number one from Sandeep Dixit, because he's coming after a long time. Earlier, Congress didn't have its existence. For 10 years, there was no name of Congress in Delhi. Now, the Sandeep Dixit, whatever vote he's going to get, that is going to benefit BJP. And it might be difficult for Kejriwal to save his seat from New Delhi.
Okay, and let's also analyze and figure out what is the fabric of the Okhla Assembly constituency, because the first time around it is AIMIM who is also fielding a candidate. Who is it going to benefit?
Yeah, AIMIM doesn't have much weight in Delhi. They're outside Delhi, they are very strong, but in Delhi they have yet to make an impact. But certainly they are going to be change in these 2 seats. One of these Congress candidates might get this seat, grab this seat, Amanatullah Khan. Instead of Amanatullah Khan, they are going to get a replacement of that.
Okay, and what about Greater Kailash and Jangpura, Seelampur, and also when we talk about all these big candidates, big names, they are celebrated names, people know them, Manish Sisodia and Saurabh Bharadwaj, and when we compare these individuals, these candidates to the BJP candidates and the Congress candidates, nobody has heard about them.
Let me talk one by one. Let's come to the Jangpura seat. Manish Sisodia failed to deliver the goods to the local residents in Patparganj. He was winning the seat for last 2 successive elections, and the scenario of the